star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Brett Gray.
Ready to go for Knick basketball, and Monica McNutt, you said the other day that the Knicks, they all looked at the man in the mirror, and they were stars in their respective roles. It seems like that's going to have to continue here in Game 5 because everybody knows the hardest game to win is when you're facing a team with their season on the line. What's it going to take here?
Well, you know the Pistons, the bad boys are rolling in here trying to be smooth criminals and pull off a win here in the Garden.
Wow.
But the Knicks, first of all, they have to continue to level up in their focus, and they've got to be matter-of-fact in the fourth quarter. This game could be another thriller, Tyler, because that's what this series has provided us. But ultimately, one team has Jalen Brunson and one team doesn't. And in addition to that, there's another team whose collective has been in this situation together before. I take nothing away from Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris as veterans leading this young, feisty, and hungry Pistons squad. But when I look at the core of the Knicks, they've been here as a group. And so they have a little bit more equity and understanding of these moments. And the big X factor tonight, Tyler, these fans are so desperate to close out a series for the first time in 26 years. It's going to be loud in here.
Let's get to the officials, brought to you by London Jewelers. Mark Davis is the crew chief with Tyler Ford and Jason Goebel assisting. The officials are brought to you by London Jewelers. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the Americana Mall and the mall at Short Hills. Now time for the starting lineup. First for the visiting Pistons, J.B. Bickerstaff has this starting 5 again. It'll be Cade Cunningham running the point, coming off the 3rd triple-double in Pistons playoff history. The only other guy to have a playoff triple-double for Detroit ever is Isaiah Thomas. He's done it twice. 25 points in Game 5 for Cunningham, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and a career-high 4 blocks, one of the most impressive playoff stat lines ever. But the last 3 possessions for Cunningham, missed shot, turnover, and another missed shot. His backcourt partner is Tim Hardaway Jr., who continues to be one of the streakiest shooters in the NBA. He was 7 of 12 from downtown in Game 3, but just 4 of 13 in Game 4, although Hardaway had some very clutch makes down the stretch as the Pistons tried and failed to hold off that furious Knick comeback from down 11 points with about 7 minutes to go. On the wings, it's Amen Thompson and Tobias Harris. Thompson turned it over 4 times on Sunday in 22 minutes, but he can be one of the tougher wing matchups in the NBA. And Tobias Harris got his scoring going again in Game 4. Remember, he had 22 points in the first half of Game 1, but kind of disappeared from there. But he came back with 18 points in Game 4, although picked up his 5th foul late in the 3rd and never got into rhythm after that. The big man in the middle is Jalen Duren. 17 rebounds for the center in Game 4. That's the most for a Piston in the playoffs since Ben Wallace back in 2006. Of course, they have just 1 playoff win since 2008, but Duren has certainly earned some of those high comparisons with the way he's thrown his weight around inside. As for the Knicks, no surprises. You've got Jalen Brunson, who was not even on the injury report coming into today, and despite having what looked like a major ankle injury late in Game 4, he came back. He scored 15 points in the 4th quarter and led the Knicks to a dramatic victory and a 3-1 series lead. Mikal Bridges, he entered the 4th quarter of that game 1 for 10 from the field, and rightfully so. The 4th quarter accolades have gone to Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, but the comeback does not start without the back-to-back 3-pointers that Mikal Bridges hit. Tough catches and tough shots in the right corner to get the ball rolling for New York. On the wings, it's Josh Hart and OG Anunoby. You look at Hart's full series, averaging 11 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. He's, as you would hope, been a do-everything guy for this team so far in the postseason, and he's 5 of 9 from downtown. And you've got OG Anunoby, who maybe had one of his best defensive games, helping lock down Cade Cunningham in the clutch on Sunday. And then Karl Anthony Towns, what a performance. Look at his last 2 games in Detroit. Averaged 29 points, 8.5 rebounds, and he's finally unleashing that three-point shot. He went 9 of 15 from downtown across games 3 and 4. When it's game time, it's Tully time. The opening tip is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the all-new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. There was a nervous silence just a moment ago, but now a Let's Go Knicks chant has begun here at MSG as New York takes the floor in their City Edition uniforms. It's a white base with orange numbers on front and back. It's got the double New York on the front, once in blue, and then just beneath it in orange with plenty of overlap. And that same text design is on the center court logo, but New York is in white and then orange underneath with a skyline in a darker shade of wood on the near sideline. Knicks will go from right to left, Pistons from left to right. They're in their blue uniforms with red and white trim as Mark Davis gets set for the opening tip. With the win, the Knicks are on to round 2, where they will play either Orlando or Boston. The Pistons hoping to win and send it back to Detroit for Game 6. Now a false start on the opening tip, and they're going to jump this up again. Speaking of the Magic and Celtics, they will tip it off at 8:30. You have Milwaukee and Indiana underway right now. It's a 1-point Bucks lead halfway through the third. Detroit wins the opening tip. It's Cade Cunningham from left to right. He hears a smattering of boos early. They get it to Tim Hardaway up top of hand, right back to Cunningham. Open three straight on. That short rebound Towns. Cunningham, just a phenomenal Game 4 effort, but when it came down to the wire, as Monica said in the moment, the Knicks have the clutch player of the year and the Pistons don't. High side wing, Brunson defended by Asar Thompson, which is Detroit's preference if they can get the matchup. Now it's back to Mikal Bridges at midcourt with just 5 to shoot. It's a screen from Anunoby, pick and roll, handed off to Hart, end of the shot clock, left wing three. It's a grenade and an air ball. Shot clock violation. So each team with a good defensive stand to start the game.
All right, so you want to get that out of your system, obviously, for the Knicks. There's a whole lot of game left to be played. But early on, Asar Thompson guarding Jalen Brunson again. But the entire defense is pushed up a bit, and so that forced the Knicks out. They're going to have to deliberately counter that by trying to get to that three-point line and below.
Thompson spins in the lane, left side on Hart, draws a reach-in foul, and he'll get to the free throw line after missing the layup. And by the way, that late shot clock missed three by Hart, it drops his playoff average to 50%. He's 5 of 10 from downtown.
One thing with this whistle already, I'm curious to see what the temperature of this ball game is going to be. If the physicality, the fouls called or not called, obviously have been big stories game to game.
It reminds you, not the officiating part, but just how tight these games have been. And what Nick Nurse said toward the end of round 1 last year, he says, we can make this adjustment, that adjustment, but no matter what, it seems to come down to the last few plays every single game.
And I think that's beautiful, though, and that's what should be celebrated in competition. I mean, even coming into this one, the Knicks favorites by 5.5, or the Pistons favorite, yeah?
The Knicks are.
Knicks are favorite 5.5. That's not a wide margin.
Not at all. And New York was the underdog on Sunday, and in the end, it just came down to 1 or 2 plays, as we've seen for the majority of the series. Thompson got both free throws. Nick ball from right to left. Brunson pulls up from the dotted line, missed a fadeaway. Anunoby got a piece of the rebound, but his putback was blocked by Duren.
I did really like that play, though. Jalen Brunson catching the ball on the move. We haven't seen a lot of that.
Thompson spins on Brunson, right block. Brunson reaches in. Layup is missed. Rebound put back up and in by Jalen Duren. And a 4-0 start for Detroit, which is how New York started it on Sunday.
Rebounds are something that are going to continue to be important in this series as Josh Hart gets a quality fast break and paint point.
You said fast break, but that was off a make. Really impressive by the Knicks to get it up court that quickly. Josh Hart would not be denied. Cunningham, mid-post back down on the near side on Bridges. Fires it out to the left point for Harris. Pick and roll left side with Duren. Harris on the baseline, dribbles around Towns, and stepped on the baseline out of bounds. Good defense from Karl Anthony Towns. Knicks take over down 2. 10-16 to go in the first.
Asar Thompson, the face guard, the full length of the floor. Mikal Bridges an opportunity, in fact, does inbound the ball from OG Anunoby to take some pressure off Jalen Brunson.
Of course, Asar Thompson will make Brunson's life tough every second he touches the ball. On the right wing, Towns with his back to Harris. So they're doing that matchup again. Hand off to Hart. Open on the right wing. He'll attack the foul line. In the paint, puts a shoulder into Harris. Turnaround push shot misses from 8 feet. And Hart wanted a foul. Harris on the other end. Pick and roll with Duren on the left side again. Pull up 2 from 10 feet. Misses everything. And good defense from behind by Hart to force the air ball. Anunoby coast to coast, stopped on the right elbow, up top for Towns. Holds it high at the logo, and now Brunson near side angle, defended by Cade Cunningham. Patiently waiting, gets a screen from Bridges to switch Hardaway onto Brunson, but Hardaway wins the battle, tipped it out of bounds off of Brunson's hand. Near sideline inbound coming for Hardaway.
Knicks look a little fatigued to me to start this one. Not necessarily cutting to spots. They've allowed the Pistons to push them out a little bit. A turnover like that is super uncharacteristic of Jalen Brunson.
And it wasn't quite J.J. Redick playing his starting five the entire second half as Brunson draws an offensive foul, got trucked in the paint on the other end, and New York will take over as Cade Cunningham did indeed give him a double hand push to create some space inside.
That could have been called all game long in games 3 and 4, so cool that the officials are noting it now.
And I think by necessity, though, Monica, the bench minutes for the Knicks on Sunday, it had 19 from McBride, but nobody else played more than 10 as Bridges misses a fadeaway from the high side elbow, and Harris will rifle it ahead to Thompson at the circle. Bounce pass to the right wing for Hardaway. Catch and shoot three, too strong. Rebound swatted by Duren. Thompson's got it, and he gets it back up to the top of the arc for Cade Cunningham. They've won the rebounding battle, Detroit, consistently throughout the series as Cunningham draws a foul on Bridges, driving far baseline. Play will stop, 8:54 to go in the first. It's Pistons 4, Knicks 2.
Even though the rebound stats are gaudy, when you look at second chance opportunities, there was not a big difference from game 4. Rebounding was 54-38 in favor of the Pistons, but the second chance points, the Pistons had 18, the Knicks had 17.
Inbound comes to Hardaway, right back to Cunningham. Pick and roll up top with Duren. They double team Cunningham. Got rid of it to Duren. Baseline cutter. Thompson, good catch and a strong finish as Brunson had a hand in there but couldn't steal the pass. It's a 4-point Pistons lead as the Knicks have started 1 of 6 from the field.
I would not be surprised if Asar Thompson manages to put it all together this game.
Baseline drive from Brunson, high side. He's sealed off by Thompson. Brunson has to reset in the far corner. Drives inside again, spins, pump fake, leans in on Thompson. Bank shot too strong. Cunningham the rebound, and the Pistons want to run from left to right. From the foul line, a one-arm pass to Harris, far corner. Three is good, and the Pistons are off to a 9-2 start 4 minutes into the game.
Legs look a little heavy. I keep saying that of the Knicks.
Brunson drives, got hit, threw it up, and it rimmed out as Duren gave him the classic hip check into the left baseline stanchion. Says a word or two to Brunson, who has a response, and he'll get to the free throw line.
Perhaps if the lid comes off the basket, the Knicks will look a little more energized. It is an unfortunate fact about almost all hoopers. When the ball goes in, you start to find a little bit more juice and a little bit more rhythm. And so far tonight, they've looked a little flat. They've gone 1 of 7 from the floor. Of the 7 looks, I don't have an issue with most of them. I think there was an unnecessary degree of difficulty on the last shot that Josh Hart got in the paint. He was open on that. He just kept going to the left wing.
Brunson rattles in the first free throw, so it's 9-3 Pistons. 8:09 to go in the first. For over 160 years, individuals and businesses from Montauk to Manhattan have trusted Dime for all their banking needs. Visit Dime.com for more information. Dime, we've got your bank. Member FDIC. Second free throw rims out for Brunson, so it's still a 6-point Detroit lead. Harris on the left perimeter, guarded by Bridges. Screen from Thompson, dishes far corner for Cunningham. Cunningham left wing, step back three over Hart. Too strong, rebound Brunson. Always with his head up across midcourt from right to left. Finds Bridges near wing. Back to midcourt for Brunson. Now on the right wing, it's Towns. He's got Duren on him, wants to attack. Step back, pump fake, give and go with Hart. And he runs the rim and jams it with 2 hands. And now the crowd has come to life. It's 9-5 Pistons.
Yeah, that's the energy that you were looking for. And it's a great give and go.
Cunningham tries to answer and does. Steps through the lane and hits one in the middle of the paint. It's back to a 6-point lead.
So one thing to note, though, Jalen Duren pressing up on Cat in space. That's going to create opportunities for exactly what we saw in that last possession.
Bridges out high. Finds Anunoby left wing. He was limited offensively on Sunday. Almost lost the ball across midcourt. Got it back. Now a straight line drive down the middle of the paint. Sidestep near post, and he hits a tough fadeaway over Cade Cunningham. Anunoby's on the board. It's 11-7 Detroit.
From up here, it looked like Cade Cunningham put 2 hands on OG Anunoby as he got into that step back to get that extra bounce and rhythm.
Cunningham lost the handle. Anunoby steps in with a gun, a call, a foul.
Wait, what?
I think Mikal Bridges is going to get called with a foul. I thought Cunningham lost that ball clean. But looks like Jason Goebel saw something that we did not.
It looks like Mikel's left arm maybe is under Cade Cunningham's.
Yep. There was contact there. Both coaches have said they just want it to be consistent, though, and you can't necessarily say the Pistons haven't been doing that on the other end. At any rate,
that was not contact that causes them to lose that basketball, though, based on the way that this series has gone.
I think marginal contact.
At best.
At best. But the Pistons get the call, and they'll have the ball when we come back. It's Detroit 11, New York 7, with 6:56 to go in the first. Knicks trying to win the series. Pistons hoping to force Game 6. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Embrace the power.
Start your engine.
And speed of the NTT IndyCar Series on Sirius XM.
Battle the start-finish line. Alexander Rossi goes to P1.
Hear every thrilling moment of the 2025 IndyCar season, including the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indy 500.
The green flag flies. They reach the yard of bricks.
The season rolls on Sunday afternoon at 1:30 Eastern with the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix. Live on IndyCar Nation Channel 218 and the Sirius XM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Worth 400 from Texas Motor Speedway on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race. Plus, 2 hours of post-race coverage on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
The first place to talk hoops every weekday morning is the starting lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
They're breaking down all the latest from the association.
I think he's a baller, and I think people would give up assets to get a guy like that.
Along with some laughs.
Kevin Durant, you need to get married and be miserable like the rest of us. Reprimanding the fans for booing. It's like, come on, man.
The starting lineup, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern. Only on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the Sirius XM app.
I'm Mike Farron. If you're like me, you love baseball. You love talking baseball with your friends, and your partner on the radio is the former general manager of the Mets.
This is Jim Duquette. Join me and Mike weekdays at 10 Eastern for Power Alley on MLB Network Radio.
It's baseball, and more baseball. 100% in-depth baseball talk.
We spent an entire week once on pulled pork recipes.
It's 95% in-depth baseball talk on Power Alley. Weekdays, 10 Eastern, MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89.
Good start for Detroit. It's 11-7 Pistons with 6:56 to go in the first quarter of Game 5. Let's get you the owner of free throws before we go any further. How about Asar Thompson? He's 2 for 2 to lead the way. That is your owner of free throws, brought to you by Chumba Casino, where any moment can be your moment. With free daily login bonuses, serious prizes, and hundreds of online social casino-style games, turn your free time into a good time with Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. So as mentioned, a strong start for Detroit. 4 of 9 from the field. The Knicks are 3 of 9, but a 4-point lead for the Pistons. Although, game by game, it's only really mattered who's had a good fourth quarter start, because we've seen the series go wildly back and forth with a coin flip ending in most games.
And I would even drill down. You think has it been the starts of the fourth quarter or the finishes?
More so the finishes, yes. Pistons ball from left to right. Hardaway on the near side perimeter. He'll find Duren up top. A bounce pass to Cunningham left wing. Gets to the mid-range. Pulls up for 2. Blocked by Anunoby. Got his fingertips on it. And it winds up out of bounds underneath the right side basket with 3.8 to shoot.
OG Anunoby will be praised for how well he's defended Cade Cunningham, and rightfully so. But in lockstep with him is Mikal Bridges. I mean, those guys, Alan Hahn called it out, have come back to the wing stop moniker in this series.
No question. Hardaway sidestep right side 3, missed it out of bounds. Rebound was tipped loose. It's going to stay with Detroit, they say, as it goes to the right baseline off of a nick. That was a wide open 3 for Tim Hardaway. We told you about his streakiness in this series. 0 for 6 in game 2, then he went 7 of 12 in game 3, and so far he's 0 for 2 tonight. Cunningham pocket pass to Duren, stripped by Hart. A lot of contact there, but the ball came free. The Knicks take over. Near corner, Anunoby, catch and shoot 3, short over Cunningham. Duren gets the rebound.
It's a good look by OG Anunoby. I like the process. He's got to continue to shoot the ball with confidence.
Pistons ball up by 4. Hardaway drives the right side of the paint, dishes to Duren, who got fouled on a layup. And 2 free throws will come for Duren with an 11-7 Pistons lead. 6:17 remaining in the first quarter. That's the first foul on Brunson.
Brunson raised his hand after that one because it would have been a second on Josh Hart, but Brunson definitely gets Duren first.
Mikal Bridges is probably the least frequent fouler on the Knicks, so not a reason to panic, but he does have 2. Hart and Brunson both with 1. As Duren rims out the first free throw at the basket to our right. Bridges is coming out, though, as McBride and Robinson will come in for Towns and Bridges.
Well, this is definitely early, a little early from his usual rotation, but not too far off. I want to say maybe about 90 seconds to 2 minutes earlier because of those fouls. But it would be great to see Deuce McBride really begin to find his way, and perhaps he can do that here at home.
Duren gets the second free throw. 5-point Pistons lead just before the midway point in the first quarter. You're right about McBride. He's made a couple of big three-pointers, but for the series, 16 points in 56 minutes. Josh Hart drives the left side of the paint as the Knicks go from right to left. Feeds a baseline cutter. Anunoby pass was fumbled out of his hands, they say, out of bounds. But apparently the Knicks arguing Cade Cunningham touched it last. Not too much argument about fouls early,
no,
but just,
I agree.
Just,
great observation.
Just simple out-of-bounds calls have irked both teams to this point. Pistons ball from left to right. They're in the red, white, and blue. Knicks in their City Edition whites this evening. Hardaway splits a double team, attacks the left side of the lane, hands off to Duren inside, reverse layup rolls around and falls off the back rim, and then he fouled hard on the rebound. They've run that play a couple times where a Piston will penetrate. Duren waiting at the restricted area gets a hook pass around to Nick Big, but it's only led to a couple points.
Well, the first part is what's happening at the top, right? And the Pistons are still going after Jalen Brunson in the pick and roll, but the Knicks have opted to have Jalen Brunson show and recover. So that time on the recovery, so that OG Anunoby could match up with Cade Cunningham, Brunson was near a steal from Hardaway on the penetration, Brunson and Hart. But ultimately, Hardaway's too quick, and he does hit that gap.
We have a technical foul here. Paul Reed came in for Jalen Duren, who had 2 fouls, and Mitchell Robinson was getting sick of it. Paul Reed is going to get hit with the tech. Good job by Mitchell Robinson.
It was these two in Game 3, remember, that got the tussling going.
That's right. It was the triple technical moment where both Robinson and Reed got teed up, and then Karl Anthony Towns came in and shoved Paul Reed from the three-point line back to midcourt.
This is legit out of nowhere on the part of Paul Reed, though. Like, just pushing back.
Brunson misses the free throw. You cannot say ball don't lie. Technical fouls do not apply. Brunson is 1 of 3 from the stripe. 5-point Pistons lead. Knicks from right to left. High ball screen from Robinson. Walk up 3, Brunson. Missed it. Rebound tipped by Robinson twice. Missed them both times. Swatted to the near corner. It's out of bounds. I'm going to guess off of the Knicks because Hart was racing for that ball and he couldn't get there. And yes, they will say Pistons ball. So Brunson, a slow start. He's 0 for 4.
I thought Mitchell Robinson got pushed in the back on that second one, but let's just start bird's eye view.
Cade Cunningham runs the point. Pistons ball. They're up by 5, attacking the basket to our right. 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Paul Reed gets it to Cunningham, near side arc. Cunningham tried to find a cutting read. It was tipped by Anunoby, almost stolen, but it's out of his hands over to Tobias Harris. 3 to shoot. Far corner, Hardaway steps to the wing. 3-pointer blocked out of bounds by Anunoby. He's got 2 rejections already, and a shot clock violation forced by New York.
Don't bring that soft in here. That was me making noises, people. I did not say anything I can't say on FCC Airways.
That's iconic self-editing. Final 5 minutes of the first quarter. 12-7. It's a tight one early on. Knicks down 5. Brunson looking for his first field goal. Gets a lane, drive and kick, near corner 3 for Hart. He got it! Josh Hart's been making his threes this playoffs. It's a 2-point game, 12-10 Detroit.
I love the aggressiveness by Jalen Brunson. He snakes multiple defenders there and finds his guy waiting in the corner confidently. Josh Hart can be an X factor tonight if he's willing to shoot and knock down threes.
Cunningham baseline drive, spins into the lane, double team, missed a layup, got his own rebound, and then he missed again. Taken away by Robinson. Brunson left corner. Looking to pass, skips it to the far end for McBride. Pull up 2 for the tie. Nailed it.
I really like that pass by Jalen Brunson. Not because it gets, not just because it was an easy pass, it was across court, but it is intentionally looking to get Deuce McBride going, who is someone that we've talked about has struggled offensively in this series. A one-dribble pull-up in rhythm over the defenders. Knicks on a 10-3 run. Tie ball game.
4:21 to go in the first. Knicks 12, Pistons 12. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York, and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Not hungry right now? Think about a burger. Still not hungry? Think about a smash burger. Yeah, that's what we thought. Can you hear the sizzle of the griddle? Can you smell the Angus beef? Can you taste the charred perfection? The hunger's kicked in. The salivary glands have turned on like a spigot. It's time to make it yours. Go to smashburger.com to find the closest spot. Grand Marnier is an award-winning blend of fine cognac and orange liqueur. It's made for those who live to step outside the box, who like to put a twist on the traditional and believe in a world that's not just good, but grand. Visit grandmarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2022, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style. Always drink responsibly.
Total Ortho Express is a state-of-the-art orthopedic care center with 4 Long Island locations: East Meadow, Syosset, Massapequa, and Deer Park. Injuries can happen at any time and can often require immediate attention. Total Ortho Express provides immediate walk-in orthopedic care from highly awarded specialists and surgeons, instead of waiting in an emergency room or a general urgent care. Total Ortho Express is open 7 days a week with extended hours so that our patients have convenient and immediate access to the care they need. Learn more at TotalOrthoExpress.com.
4:21 to go in the first quarter. It's Knicks 12, Pistons 12. Game 5, round 1. With a win, the Knicks go to the second round. With a loss, they go to Detroit for Game 6. Why don't we pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
NBA Radio on Sirius XM is available on your connected devices. Listen at home anytime you want with Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, or however you stream in the house.
York.
Tied at 12, about 7.5 minutes into the game. Total Ortho Express has 4 Long Island locations and provides immediate walk-in orthopedic care from highly awarded specialists and surgeons instead of waiting in an emergency room or a general urgent care. Learn more at TotalOrthoExpress.com. Feels like the potential clinching game jitters are out of the Knicks system. Brunson hasn't hit a shot yet, but 2 assists, and the defense from OG Anunoby with his 2 blocks has also helped elevate the atmosphere of this crowd so far. The Pistons will come out with Malik Beasley and Dennis Schroeder in the lineup to join Harris, Reed, and Cunningham.
The defense so far in this one, OG Anunoby in particular, with a couple of blocks and near steals getting into the passing lane, you can feel the energy ramping up on both sides of the floor. Now, Dennis Schroeder is on the floor. He has been a guy that has defended Jalen Brunson really well in this series. Well, considering this guy is still averaging practically 30 points in the series.
Knicks have Brunson, McBride, Anunoby, Hart, and Robinson on the floor. Pistons ball from left to right. Tie game. Final 4 minutes opening quarter. Right corner, Tobias Harris catch and shoot 3. Front rim. Good closeout from Hart. He has been a flying saucer racing to close out these Pistons shooters at the three-point line all series.
You got to go to OG Anunoby here.
He's got the mismatch on Schroeder. They'll get it to him. Far corner. 10 feet away from the basket. Spins. Baseline. Hits a reverse layup with the left hand. And the Knicks have a 2-point lead.
It's a double screen, double stagger at the top of the key, and so OG Anunoby was able to switch on to Dennis Schroeder. Great play.
Coach McNutt called out the offense there. Beasley out high. Screen from Reed. Off the dribble 3. Rolls it in. Malik Beasley has not been hot since Game 1. He makes his first shot tonight. It's 15-14 Detroit.
Game 1 was by far his best shooting game in this series.
McBride near side arc will take a dribble with his right hand to get to the top of the key. Now calls for a screen from Anunoby as Schroeder's guarding him. That switches Beasley now onto McBride. Inside for Anunoby. Step back from the foul line over Cunningham. Too much. Offensive rebound to Robinson. And the shot clock did not reset. There should be 14 on the shot clock. The Knicks will inbound. They will not claim user error and give the ball to the Pistons randomly with a chance to win the game like they did 2 games ago.
That happened in this series?
Isn't that strange?
Very.
The things you forget about Game 3 because of how outrageous Game 4 was. It's a 15-14 Pistons lead. Knicks will inbound for the near corner. In the front court, Anunoby finds Robinson at the near side wing. Faces up on Reed with 8 to shoot. Has to get rid of it. Still trying to, but he can't. Reed got a hand in there. Hart down on the deck. Stripped him clean. Got it to McBride out high, but he didn't realize the shot clock was about to expire. Now the officials blow the whistle. And they're going to call a loose ball foul, I believe, on Tobias Harris.
I think it might be Paul Reed.
No, they're putting 21 seconds back on the shot clock. They showed a 1 and a 2 that Mark Davis, the official, so I thought number 12 Tobias Harris getting hit with the foul, but they give possession to Paul Reed, who stripped Mitchell Robinson.
Correct.
But then Josh Hart stripped him, so they had to reset the shot clock to 24. 3 seconds came off. And the Knicks have the ball from right to left down. One Brunson drives left side of the paint. Stripped by Reed off his leg out of bounds left baseline. And Paul Reed's active hands have won another possession for Detroit.
Yeah, but for as good as Jalen Brunson is, there were 3 Pistons there. Dennis Schroeder's guarding him. Paul Reed helps off the guy that sets the screen. And Malik Beasley is waiting in the help. So that was a difficult take on the part of Jalen Brunson.
And the Knicks have dominated the turnover battle in these first 4 games. But right now, they've given it away 5 times with just 4 takeaways. 2.5 to go in the first. Schroeder attacks the right side of the lane. Pump fake on the block to get McBride off his feet. Out to Reed at the foul line. Left side of the lane. 2 long steps, and he missed a tough layup. But they stripped Robinson to the rebound. Pass to a cutting Holland, and then Holland got fouled by Mitch. Wow, basketball Paul has made a real impact in limited time here for the injured Isaiah Stewart and the foul trouble laden Jalen Duren. It's a 15-14 Pistons. 2:18 to go in the first, and Ron Holland will get 2 free throws.
The energy that Paul Reed comes into the ballgame with is notable, even if it does start off with a silly technical foul. But Mitchell Robinson, for as good as he is as a rebounder, he's got to be strong with the basketball, right? You can't grab and already be looking up floor for another one of his teammates. Secure the basketball first, and then know that no one's going to leave you on an island because nobody expects you to bring the ball up the floor.
It is an advantage for a guy like Paul Reed, knowing that he's not going to be out there for more than 20 minutes.
Great
He
point.
goes absolutely all out for every single ball, and he just earned the Pistons 2 points because Holland made both free throws. 17-14, Detroit leads New York. 2:12 to go in the first. Brunson baseline drive high to low, made in the paint by Holland. Out to McBride, far corner. Behind the back pass to Brunson in front of the Knick bench. He'll drive to the dotted line. Out to Anunoby, left wing. Attacks the baseline. Step back 2 over Cunningham. Air ball. Good defense from Detroit here in the first quarter. Rebound Holland goes coast to coast. Right hand layup. Punch out of bounds by Anunoby. That is 3 rows deep for his 3rd block of the night. It'll stay with Detroit, but statements made on defense by OG so far.
He was tracking that one by Ron Holland, and we talked about heavy legs. You saw the giddy up to hustle back and come up with this block.
And Anunoby hit his fingers on the right corner of the backboard that fortunately has padding on it. Beasley step back right, angle 3, buries it. He's 2 for 2 from long range, and the Pistons are back up by 6. Long outlet to Hart, attacks the lane, hits a right-hand layup. J.B. Bickerstaff does not have any hair. It would be pulled out, though, because Josh Hart has scored 2 buckets off of a make, and then he draws an offensive foul on Cunningham at midcourt. That's 2 on Cade. Both of them have been drawn offensively by New York. Cunningham, he was trying to draw a foul there. He slowed down at midcourt, changed his direction, and
illegal.
Put his right hip into Josh Hart, and the NBA changed that call because of Trae Young's habits a few years ago. And now Cunningham's got some foul trouble.
Trae Young was in that class. James Harden, Chris Paul, a guy that also did it. But this effort by Josh Hart has been so pure. Now, this is going to be interesting. I feel like more times than not through the course of this series, we've seen J.B. Bickerstaff trust Cade Cunningham to work through.
Beasley out to Hart, catch and shoot, right wing 3. Too strong, but good confidence. Rebound tipped out by Anunoby. Hardaway had it, but Anunoby swatted it to Brunson. Double team on the mid-post. Up top to McBride. Right wing now. Anunoby spins away from Beasley. Steps in the lane. Hands to Robinson, and he got hammered by Schroeder. It's a good, smart foul by Dennis Schroeder. Robinson's 0 for 4 in the playoffs. But free throws to come and a chance to cut into the 4-point deficit.
I so want that pass to be a little bit higher so that Mitchell Robinson doesn't even have to bring it down. It is a great pass, and I literally am only saying this because we have the privilege of watching the play happen first. But most importantly, you need Mitchell Robinson to step to the line and knock down some of these free throws. We saw this last night in Rockets-Warriors where Steve Kerr went to hack a Steven Adams to get the big guy off the floor. But here in the Garden, a little home nylon twiddling the twine on the first free throw is Mitchell Robinson.
He said after Game 4, when he missed his 2 free throws and had to be taken out of the game so as not to be exploited by the Pistons, he said his entire 10-month absence with that ankle surgery recovery, he was working on his free throw shooting. He's a 40% playoff foul shooter, but, well, with a couple of good games, he can change that quick. Unkind roll on this one, but the rebound lost by Holland out of bounds. A little nudge from behind by Josh Hart. Well, he couldn't secure the rebound, and the Knicks will get the ball back down by 3. A minute 15 to go in the first.
We got a couple whistles early that felt light, but overall, officiating does not seem to be a real storyline yet.
It's early.
Hopefully that holds.
It is so early for that conversation. Tim Hardaway Jr. will tell you have to wait to the very final buzzer. Inbound from Brunson to Robinson. Hands back to Brunson, far corner. Step back. Now we try to pocket pass for Mitch, who wasn't ready for it. It comes to Hart up top, but then he threw it away. Stolen by Reed. Reed's got 3 steals already, and he's been out there for 5 minutes. Beasley near wing. Dribbles to the top of the arc. Off the dribble three-pointer. Short. Finally missed one. Josh Hart the rebound. Final minute, first quarter. McBride near corner. Catch and shoot 3. Short. Robinson tipped home the rebound. Looked like a two-hander.
Are we playing volleyball?
It's a 1-point game.
You'll take it, though.
He may have found a creative way to make some space inside. It was a two-hander from Robinson.
Definitely a volleyball set.
Schroeder drives to the foul line on Brunson. Brunson stripped him clean. Knicks running the other way. Over the top for Anunoby. One-hand catch. Finds Hart. Right-hand layup is good. It's 21-20 New York. 7-0 run.
You can hear this crowd in here. Passionate.
I can barely hear you. 15 seconds to play in the quarter. 9 to shoot for Schroeder. Pick and roll with Reed at the foul line. Pull up 2 for Schroeder. Nailed it. 5 seconds left. Brunson got hit from behind by Holland, and that will send into the free throw line. One of those calls that, if you're a Pistons fan, you probably despise. But with 4.9 left in the quarter, Brunson can tie the game or give the Knicks the lead.
This is I don't like that play. I don't. It doesn't feel like a play on the ball. There's nothing going to be reviewed here, but that's the sort of thing that I would expect Mark Davis as a veteran to call out, right? And I am for refs having a conversation before they immediately go to their whistle, but that was a bit much for me. It's not a play on the ball.
A bit much in terms of Holland fouling Brunson?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
It's kind of a hip check, right?
Literally.
Brunson makes the free throw. He had missed 2 of his first 3, and we're tied at 22. Holland will come out, and Tobias Harris comes in. Defense out, offense in. It hasn't been pretty for long stretches in this first quarter, but the Knicks are knotted up with the Pistons, 22-all with 4.9 to go in this opening frame. And Brunson's second free throw off the front rim and in. So the Knicks lead by 1. 4.9 left. Pistons have to go 94 feet. Into Schroeder with 3. Across midcourt with 2. Down the lane with 1. Right-hand layup. Too strong off glass. As McBride stuck with him the whole way.
Really good job by Deuce McBride to do that. Stick with him without fouling. And, of course, having a little conversation with Mark Davis is one. Tobias Harris. Tyler Goebel, everybody's having a conversation with the refs. Anyway, to the actual basketball of it all, the Knicks with 14 paints in the point after that first quarter. It speaks to their transition attack, their attack off the dribble, Mitchell Robinson being ready under the basket, so on and so forth. I think that's an excellent a solution, especially because the Knicks are just shooting 1 of 6 from the three-point line in that first quarter.
That's a key point. They have found ways to grind out wins when they haven't been at their best, and far from their best quarter of the playoffs, but they come away with a 23-22 lead heading to the second quarter. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
There could be a trio of NBA first-round series coming to a close tonight with the home teams in each case up 3-1. That includes the Knicks hosting the Pistons, and you can hear the play-by-play now, followed by Game 5 between the Clippers and the Nuggets with that series dead even at 2 apiece. It's all on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports, wherever you are. Your team plays here.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Worth 400
from Texas.
What's up, sports fans? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight here on Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central. I'm TSI Mike, and we really appreciate you coming over here and hanging out for an NBA and an NHL playoff game to support our sister channel, Toronto Sports Insider, and their Playoff Pulse campaign for SickKids Hospital in Toronto. We are more than glad to help here on the soccer channel, and in turn, we will be donating 100% of the revenue from these streams directly to that campaign to SickKids Hospital. Now, let's get all the regular business out of the way. Please hit that like button. Please share this link out to your friends so that we can build an awesome community over here, just like we have over on Toronto Sports Insider. As well, please hit that subscribe button if you're new. Turn on the bell so you don't miss it for all of our awesome action. We'll be assisting in the Playoff Pulse, as well as we do Manchester United live stream hangouts and EAFC gameplay with SOP True. Make sure you check that out on TikTok. Now let's get back to the action. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for participating in those polls. Be on the lookout. We're going to start having some polls here on SOP Soccer as well. Good luck to your team. We'll see you back in the chat.
And Sam Morrill. Get 10% off your first order with promo code New York at BodegaCatWhiskey.com. Or you can grab a bottle at Greenpoint Wine and Liquor. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. The Knicks will get Karl Anthony Towns back onto the court alongside Mitchell Robinson. They've played together for a total of 28 minutes across the first 4 games in the series. And they are outscoring the Pistons by exactly 2 points when they play together. They'll be joined by Payne, McBride, and Bridges.
One thing to note, though, from that first quarter, in an area where the Knicks have struggled in this series, quite frankly, they did finish the first quarter out-rebounding the Pistons 16-10.
Towns trying to muscle past Harris, missed a leaner from the near side, and Robinson tipped the rebound out of bounds. One of the few boards he was unable to secure.
7 rebounds so far for Mitchell Robinson through that first quarter. Terrific stuff.
It's been tough to carry it over from one game to another. Is still knocking a little bit of rust off from that 10-month absence, but really rounding into form as a pivotal member of this Knick bench. Ron Holland, far corner 3, very short. If he starts making 3-pointers, the Pistons have a real shot at this thing. McBride on the other end, crosses over Schroeder, takes him to the near side mid-post, backs him down, kick out, wide open right wing 3. Bridges missed it, rebound Towns, but he only got it because he pushed off on Harris and they'll call the foul. So Cat picks up his first. For the record, both teams have been doing that most of the night. That's one of the few times they've called it. Pistons will take over down by 1.
It's almost, I don't know, the extension of the arms for sure makes it look like a push. We can't tell from up here or not how much pressure there was or was not behind it.
What made it look like a push is that Harris went flying into the net. Schroeder at midcourt, picked up by Cam Payne. Pick and pop left side with Harris. Pass it to Harris up top. Now Holland right wing. Poked away on a drive by Payne, but they'll call a foul on Cam. So 2 quick ones to begin the second quarter on the Knicks. They lead at 23-22 with 10:58 to go before halftime.
Now that one I take issue with more than I do the free throw. Holland is out of control on his own. It just so happens. And I think you get, as a defender, you get that hot stove touch, right? Like you get a chance to get in there and then retract your hands.
I think so. Beasley on the near side arc. Sealed off by Bridges. Reset with Schroeder, top of the key. Off the dribble, three-pointer. Too much, rimmed out. Rebound, tracked down by Reed. He was tangled up with Robinson, and then he fell down along the right baseline, and they're going to say no contact committed by the Knicks. He just fell clean out of bounds. He was surrounded by 7-footers there, Towns and Robinson.
If I could rattle off the last 3 calls, which one do you think was probably actually a foul and which ones weren't?
Ooh, I have a very short-term memory issue.
Oh, I got all 3 of them, but don't worry. Let's keep going.
Bridges, left wing, looking for a screen from Towns. He'll drive on Holland, a great young defender in the lane. Finds Payne, sidestep, far corner, 3. Got it! Cam Payne trying to percolate again. He's been limited since game 1. That's his first 3-point attempt since the series opener. And on the other end, he draws an offensive foul as Holland ran him over in the lane. It's a Cam Payne kind of quarter. Flipping momentum for the Knicks. They lead by 3.
He was so huge in game 1, and I know that feels like a while ago, but it was really his energy that turned the tides in the second half of the ball game. He was monstrously efficient in just a few amount of minutes.
Payne on that step back 3 actually had a toe on the line, so he's awarded a 2. It is 25-22 Knicks. They've trailed by 7 early, and now a 3-point lead. Bridges drives down the middle of the lane, stopped at the foul line, finds an open McBride, far corner 3, in and out, rebound Towns.
He's got to continue to let that fly.
Backs down Harris, righty, jump hook, no, tip slam Robinson, and he lets out a yell as he attacked the baseline far side, and Harris took a hit up in the face. He's in a lot of pain.
It's friendly fire, though.
Yeah,
Jalen Duren got him.
He got raked across the face by Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren passed me in the security line getting into Little Caesars Arena in Game 3, and even him scooching past me brought me great pain. The sheer size of the man. So getting hit in the face can't be fun at all. It looks like a clean eye poke there, and you really wish for the best for Tobias Harris. He's been such a key part of this series. The intensity, the physicality, and, of course, the production as he is down on his back with his teammates and the training staff surrounding him. We'll take a break while they give him a look. 5-point Knick lead, 9:50 to go in the second quarter. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Total Ortho Express is a state-of-the-art orthopedic care center with 4 Long Island locations: East Meadow, Syosset, Massapequa, and Deer Park. Injuries can happen at any time and can often require immediate attention. Total Ortho Express provides immediate walk-in orthopedic care from highly awarded specialists and surgeons, instead of waiting in an emergency room or a general urgent care. Total Ortho Express is open 7 days a week with extended hours so that our patients have convenient and immediate access to the care they need. Learn more at TotalOrthoExpress.com.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Because growing a business keeps you on the go, we've got your bank. Because a steady cash flow is the lifeblood of your bottom line, we've got your bank. Because your workday simply doesn't stop at 5 o'clock, we've got your bank. Dime Community Bank gives you the digital tools you need to simplify your business banking, even deposit checks, anytime from anywhere. And we back our technology with a team that's always there, wherever business takes you. Visit Dime.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
To win the NBA Finals, everything needs to line up perfectly. No different than finding the person you want to marry. When the time comes to propose, well, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. They'll make shopping for a ring easy. Let them help you pick or design the perfect ring to fit any budget from their 2 by London collection. London Jewelers is committed to getting it just right. So visit London Jewelers today at any of their 6 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the mall at Short Hills. Mention I told you to stop by. You'll get the Michael K. treatment.
Knicks 27, Pistons 22. Tobias Harris got poked in the eye by his teammate Jalen Duren after Duren got dunked on by Mitchell Robinson. He was able to walk over to the bench. We don't have a status update on him just yet, but not all eye pokes are created equal. That looked like a real bad one. Knicks basketball on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. And the stat of the quarter is brought to you by Monica McNutt. What do you have for us?
All right. Shout out to our statistician, Eric. He's terrific. Mind you that this stat is going to be delivered. And remember that the Knicks are still winning by 5 points. Brunson, Bridges, and Towns, they have only combined 4 or 5 points. They're 1 of 8 from the field tonight, but the Knicks are still up. And so there's lots of room for this team to rev up their engines and get back to the efficiency offensively that we saw in the last 2 games. But beyond that, give credit to the rest of the guys that are keeping this thing afloat. Josh Hart is actually leading all scorers with 9 points to this point in the game.
He was the second leading scorer in the first round last year for the Knicks, behind, of course, Jalen Brunson. This year, Hart's the 5th leading scorer. Another example of how the vision of this team is really coming to fruition. Schroeder in the lane finds Hardaway right wing. Extra pass to the right corner. Harris stays in the game, and he stays hot with a right corner 3. His vision works fine. It's a 2-point game again.
Child, you just act like you was blind and needed a miracle. Come knock down the 3. Get out of here.
I was worried about him, to be honest. So, yes, he fooled me. Although, Jalen Brunson had a bad ankle injury, but then he scored 15 in the fourth quarter.
I'm going to let y'all in on a secret about that after we get out the series.
After the series? What a tease. Post move, Towns on Harris, righty jump hook off the back rim. Towns hasn't found the range yet. He's 1 for 4. Knicks by 2, 3 minutes into the second quarter. Schroeder, right side baseline, pulls up with a pump fake. Now Harris to the foul line, right elbow jumper off the dribble. He got it. Maybe that eye poke helped him out. It's 27-27.
Remember, he had a monster first half in game 1. Similarly, in game 2, a little bit more of a balanced attack. But he's been a guy that has certainly been an important contributor for the Pistons.
Bridges pull-up jumper from 12 feet. That one's good from the dotted line. And the Knicks are back up 29-27.
Excellent effort by Mikal Bridges after hitting that basket to sprint back and to meet Malik Beasley, who's knocked down a couple of threes already in this ballgame.
That's his first bucket, and now all 8 Knicks that have seen the floor have at least 2 points. Schroeder slips inside and hits a tough layup, falling out of bounds with a good contest from both McBride and Robinson. We're tied at 29.
To give that thing the right amount of arc that it goes over Robinson and still kisses the glass is beautiful.
Savvy veteran Dennis Schroeder. McBride in the lane, lefty layup. No, Robinson tip slam, yes. And McBride gave him a point from his rear end as he fell down left baseline.
J.B. Bickerstaff is urging his group to push the pace.
Schroeder at the foul line, ducks inside, floater in the lane, in and out, and it fell off on the left side of the rim. Offensive rebound, Duran, kick out to a wide open Tobias Harris, but he passed it up to Schroeder, left angle 3, off the mark, rebound Bridges.
Tremendously sound block out there by Mitchell Robinson, clearing Jalen Duran out of the way.
Campaign, top of the arc. Robinson, by the way, 10 minutes, 7 points, and 9 rebounds. Sidestep 3 for Campaign, front rimmed it. Rebound Hardaway. That's a heat check from Campaign. Schroeder on the near side angle, left alone. Towns giving it about a half a foot, but he'll pass it up to the right elbow. They have the mismatch. Harris defended by Payne. One dribble, left hand, leans in and gets the roll as he took advantage of his size on Payne. It's 31-31.
The Knicks need to call Karl Anthony Towns' number. That's enough of this. He's got 2 points in this ball game. He's only taken 4 shots. He only played 6 minutes in the first quarter. I get it. You're staggering Towns and Brunson a little bit in this one, but now you need to go to Towns.
Knicks were down 7, then went up by 5, and since then it's gone back and forth from a 2-point lead to a tie game the last few minutes. It's 31-31. Knicks and Pistons all tied up in Game 5, where the Knicks have a 3-1 series lead. 7:04 to go in the second quarter. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Hey, do you ever wonder how life might look if you'd saved a little more? Well, April is Financial Literacy Month, and Planned to AT is here to help. We're a nonprofit helping young people improve their futures through financial wellness education. Our fun, simple workshops help students build healthy money habits and get them ready for the workforce. Text PTAT to 26989 to learn how you and your company can get involved. That's PTAT to 26989.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We're back on the track Sunday.
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Worth 400 from Texas Motor Speedway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, in the car, and on the SiriusXM app. For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race. Plus, 2 hours of post-race coverage on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
The first place to talk hoops every weekday morning is the starting lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
They're breaking down all the latest from the association.
I think he's a baller, and I think people would give up assets to get a guy like that.
Along with some laughs.
Kevin Durant, you need to get married and be miserable like the rest of us. Reprimanding the fans for booing. It's like, come on, man.
The starting lineup, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern. Only on SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Verizon Store today to trade in any phone in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on a new 5G phone with unlimited ultimate. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. It's 31-31 with 7:04 to go in the second quarter. I think it was reasonable for Knicks fans to look at certain series like OKC taking care of business against Memphis, and more recently, the Cleveland Cavaliers leaving no doubt.
Bro, they beat those guys on average 30 points per game.
Crazy. So, of course, the pipe dream is, can you get one more win in the series? Of course, you'll take it however it comes to advance to the second round, but maybe, just maybe, a breather, a relaxing win. But I think after watching the first 4 games and certainly a quarter and a half tonight, there is no way this is going to be anything except a high-stress environment, whether it goes 5, 6, or 7.
Well, technically, it feels like by this series standard, a 5-point victory would be a relaxing, would be a relaxing finish.
Yes.
A blowout.
It was a 94-93 in Game 4, 2-point win in Game 3. And I guess the biggest blowout was in Game 1. The Knicks won by 11, but they were down 8 after the third quarter, needed that 21-0 run. Knicks from right to left in the white uniforms were tied at 31. 7 minutes left in the first half. Brunson takes Harris to the left side block. Scoop layup missed. He was right there, but Brunson is now 0 for 4 from the field.
Yeah, and he shakes his head. That's one he usually would have.
And then nobody picked up Thompson on the break. A right-hand jam. It gives Detroit a 33-31 lead. And the conversation really is a credit to Detroit in terms of not getting blown out.
Absolutely.
They have fought back at every possible opportunity. Knicks had them down 16 in the second quarter on Sunday, and it never felt like they were out of it, and they would wind up taking an 11-point lead. Towns step back, one-legged fall away from the free throw line, stalls on the back rim and falls off to the right side.
I know he had a shot similar to that in a big-time moment in the fourth quarter, but he was into rhythm. I don't love that as a first shot in a while from him.
Pistons out of rhythm. It was Cunningham and Duren who couldn't connect on a pocket pass. It's out of bounds off of Duren. The Knicks will take over down 2 with 6:11 to go in the second quarter.
If I could control Command P, I believe that's copy and paste, from the fourth quarter, I'd want to see the Knicks get back to the spacing we saw that allowed Karl-Anthony Towns to have room to operate in the fourth quarter of Game 4.
You're wrong. Right wing three from Brunson. Command C is copy, Command V is paste.
V, I know it was V, my bad.
V is in violet.
It should be P, it makes more sense.
I totally agree. But how would you print otherwise?
Oh, that's print? I didn't know that.
Cunningham got fouled, and Jalen Brunson will pick up his second. I think it's print. 33-31, Pistons lead.
Totally just made that up.
5:50 to go in the second quarter. I know what copy and paste is.
You do. I messed up copy and paste, and then you made up something.
Inbound from the far sideline for Thompson. It's Cade Cunningham, dribbles back toward midcourt. Picked up by Bridges, pick and slip with Harris, who catches on the right elbow, backing down Anunoby. Dribbling with his left hand now, not going anywhere, but still bouncing it. Now he steps back for a tough 2. He missed it strong. Rebound, Bridges. Knicks can tie or take the lead. 5.5 to go before the break. Right down the lane, Bridges. Layup was blocked by Harris, and he wags the finger at him. On the other end, Hardaway hits a tough layup, and they call a foul on Towns, who was just there watching him. Second foul on Cat. Free throw to cover Hardaway. It's a 4-point lead for Detroit.
All right, so Need to see a replay on that.
Oh, that's a goaltend on Harris on the layup, by the way. That was off the backboard on Bridges.
It totally was.
Lay-in. Can they review that? I don't think so.
They can't.
They're supposed to lean toward goaltending so they can review it. Wow. So a potential 5-point swing if Hardaway gets this free throw.
Well, more importantly, I want to see this phantom foul on Cat.
Me too. It is a 5-point swing. Hardaway gets the foul shot, so it's 36-31. Okay, Knicks fans, you no longer have to feel bad about that no call on Josh Hart that ended game 4.
There you go.
Brunson right angle, backing down Hardaway. Anunoby off a pick, catches out high. Screen on the left from Towns. He's got Harris on him now. Anunoby drives in the lane, righty layup, banked it in. Tough finish for Anunoby. And the Knicks are back within 3.
OG Anunoby is the one guy that's been consistently aggressive and able to connect tonight. Jalen Brunson has gotten downhill, but he's not been able to connect at the usual clip.
Anunoby, 6 points, 3 blocks. Cunningham, pick and roll with Duren. Duren catches, feeds inside to Thompson at the dunker spot, and he does exactly that with 2 hands to make it a 5-point game again.
You called this play out in the first quarter, and it continues to be effective as Thompson is having one of his better scoring games in this series. He's already got 8 points.
Anunoby on the right side angle, drives baseline, met by Cunningham, 2 steps in the lane, hits another tough layup. This is the late season Anunoby Knicks fans fell in love with, attacking the rim to make it a 3-point game. Cunningham, nice through a double team. Shot was swatted in the paint by Bridges. Harris ran over Towns, and another dunk inside for Asar Thompson as the Knicks were in scramble mode after that Bridges block wound up with Harris. Brunson, left elbow, nowhere to go. Dribbles in a circle back out to the left wing. Trying to find his rhythm. He's 0 for 5. Knicks down by 5.
Got to get Cat involved.
A whistle and a foul away from the ball. And it's going to be on Jalen Duren. Didn't quite see what he did.
That's his 3rd. Look, it's very clear that the Pistons are doing 2 things. They want to push fast. They want to lurk, allow their guy to lurk on the dunker spot, create havoc off the dribble, and then pitch it down. The Knicks' best counter to that is to get quality shots on goal, first of all. They gotta go to Karl-Anthony Towns, and Karl-Anthony Towns has to tap into the mindset we saw in games 3 and 4. I do not think he's been sufficiently aggressive tonight.
He's 1 for 5, has not taken a 3-point shot.
But I don't know that any of the 5, let me think. 1 of the 5, in my mind, was legitimately in the paint for what he is capable of.
They'll post him up near side corner against Harris. Now he faces up.
Empty.
18 feet away. Across for Hart at the far elbow. Over to Anunoby. Corner 3. That's good. In front of the Knick bench. He makes it a 2-point game.
To his credit, as Coach Tom Thibodeau often says, Karl-Anthony Towns is not forcing the issue, and you would give him the hockey assist for that corner 3 by OG Anunoby.
Cunningham directing traffic. Pistons from left to right in their red, white, and blue. Knicks in their City Edition whites tonight. Cunningham inside to Thompson, met by a Hart, stripped but a foul. Hart reached in, and he will join Towns, Bridges, and Brunson with 2 fouls apiece, and that will send Thompson to the free throw line where he is a 64% shooter. It is Detroit 40, New York 38. Very much on pace for another sub-100 final score. It was 94-93 on Sunday. At the basket to our right, Thompson takes and misses the first free throw off the front iron. Knicks have the starting 5 out there. You've got a lot of playing time for both McBride and Robinson, 11 minutes apiece. Campaign played 5 minutes and knocked down a long 2. Thompson misses both. Front iron again. So 3.5 before the break. 40-38 Pistons. Brunson crosses over Cunningham to the foul line. Got tripped up and they called the foul, but that's just the second foul of the half. Of the quarter, rather. And Cade Cunningham will pick up his 3rd. Wow. Now, if you remember, one of the 2 wins Detroit had here in the regular season, Cunningham picked up 3 early fouls, had to sit out the majority of the first half. But then he went ballistic in the 3rd and 4th quarter to come back and win that game for Detroit. They will keep him on the floor for now. But both Duren and Cunningham, one of the best pick-and-roll combos in the NBA, have 3 fouls. 14 on the shot clock. Inbound to Towns. Will back down to Harris in the paint.
That's a foul.
Turns in. He's getting mugged, and he scores anyway. Then he yells in Tobias Harris's face. He's tied the game at 40, and he can give the Knicks the lead with a free throw.
That's the mentality that we've been waiting on from Karl-Anthony Towns. And it required that the Knicks space the floor, They loaded up on the right side and gave him the left side to operate. This whistle could have been called way before it actually blew because Tobias Harris is basically hugging Karl Anthony Towns.
In the end, the Knicks were glad the foul didn't come until he was able to start his upward motion to get the three-point play opportunity. So Towns, who started 1 for 5, definitely gets himself going with that bucket, and he hits the free throw to give the Knicks a 41-40 lead, 3:15 to go in the second quarter. Cunningham of the Pistons from left to right. He's marked by Anunoby, which is not fun for anybody, even if you're Cade Cunningham coming off a triple-double. They'll take him into the paint, left side, left-hand layup is good off the front rim and in. Good finish from Cade Cunningham. 1 point Detroit lead. Inbound comes all the way to the front court for Bridges. Now near side mid-post, Anunoby in the paint on Cunningham. Hesitates, blocked by Thompson. Rebound, Hart out to Towns. Hits a three. A straight-on triple for Karl Anthony Towns. He's got the last 6 Knick points, and they're up by 2.
Now we're talking about Karl Anthony Towns being in momentum and rhythm.
Schroeder slipped past Bridges on the left side drive and banked home a game-tying layup. 44 all with 2.5 to go in the second quarter.
Schroeder might not be one of the first names you think of when you talk about the veterans for this Pistons squad, but he quietly has had a really, really good series on both sides of the ball.
Towns again. Baseline drive on Harris. He got mugged again, but no foul call this time. There were 3 Pistons with contact. Thompson on the other end. Schroeder, high side wing, holds the ball above his head. Now a three-pointer. Good. Dennis Schroeder, a non-rhythm three-point shot. It's 47-44 Detroit.
Felt like he had that basketball forever.
2 minutes left in the first half. And a hand-checking foul on Schroeder, just the 4th in the quarter on Detroit.
I know that goes in favor of the Knicks, but that's hilarious. Karl Anthony Towns on the previous possession. Defender draped over him.
Yes. Defenders,
correct. But the hand check by Schroeder, now yes, that's a foul. But goodness gracious.
Rick Brunson made that call before Mark Davis. No turnovers yet in this quarter for the Knicks. Towns posting up Harris, poked away from behind, but they will call the foul. That's number 5 in the quarter, so free throws coming for Karl Anthony Towns. J.B. Bickerstaff considering a challenge.
The story for Tobias Harris, though, through this series has been foul trouble because of having to guard Karl Anthony Towns.
Still waiting to see if the Pistons want to appeal this call. They should not.
Or they should and lose their challenge and not have it when it matters, similar to Game 4.
That has to be in the back of Bickerstaff's mind right now.
I think Bickerstaff is an opportunity for him to grow. Look, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I think coaches are getting better every time they step out on the floor as well. He seemed pretty emotional in Game 4.
Towns gets the free throw, so it's a 2-point game, 1:55 to go in the second. And unfortunately, sometimes you hear about Tom Thibodeau in the national media more about minutes nonsense. But you really should hear a whole lot more about the things he's good at, like the adjustments he made to get both of those wins in Detroit. But also, no, he doesn't have the tablet in front of him to decide if it's a good challenge or not. But he's also had the exact right feel when to challenge and why to challenge. And it's made this team the best in the league at doing it. Towns couldn't hit the second free throw. 105 seconds to go in this first half. Pistons ball, they're up by 2. Harris defended by Towns, crossed him over to the foul line, lost his balance, still got it out to Beasley, who back-rimmed a long left wing 3. Long rebound to Detroit. Hardaway a pull-up 2 from the far side mid-range. He missed it, but the putback by Thompson draws a foul on New York. That one almost dropped in for a 3-point play. Josh Hart will pick up his 3rd foul with 90 seconds to go before halftime.
Asar Thompson is a tremendous athlete. He skies for this one between Bridges and Hart.
Yeah, this has been his best game of the series. 10 points in 12 minutes, 3 rebounds.
That contact is marginal to me, though. Both of those guys have a right to that basketball.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. Well, he misses another free throw, so he's 2 for 5 from the stripe. But the key for Thompson is he has not committed a foul yet. He averaged 5 fouls a game during the first 3 games of the series. Brunson was picking on him a lot, especially in Game 2, but he misses another from the free throw line. So he hit his first 2, but he is 0 for 4. An unworthy recipient of our Chumpa Casino Owner of Free Throws nomination today. minute 18 to go in the second quarter. Knicks down 2 with the ball from right to left. Brunson drive to the right elbow. Step back 2 over. Schroeder ties the game.
Just the second field goal tonight for Jalen Brunson, but it's good to see, or his first, excuse me. It's good to see it go down.
Yeah, started 0 for 5. Then he's 3 for 5 from the line. Final minute, first half. Beasley out high. Gets it to Schroeder. Defended by Hart. Top of the key. Crossover. Straight line drive down the paint. Met by Towns, and he blocked it. Comes to Brunson. Scampering ahead from right to left. All the way to the cup. Euro step. Layup blocked by Thompson. Rebound Hart into Towns and an acrobatic left-hand layup. He mimics his nice move on his way back down the court. It's a 2-point Knick lead.
It's the Euro step dance. Yes, sir.
It'll be impressive for anyone, let alone a 7-footer. Hardaway tries to silence the crowd, but decidedly does not. Almost airball to right wing, walk-up 3. It's out of bounds for New York. Towns is still doing that Euro step dance.
So it is appropriate, right? But part of what made that so special is that he kept running with the play. That was a second chance opportunity for the Knicks, and it only happens because your big is running the floor hard, whether that was to clean up a rebound potentially or ultimately get that second chance basket.
I thought that should have been a goaltend on Asar Thompson,
Definitely.
by the way. But there was a basket about to happen, so we couldn't complain in the moment. 49-47, Knicks lead the Pistons. Far from their best half of the season. It'd be one of those halves where you could say, well, the Knicks should feel lucky they're not down by blank. Well, they're up right now. 49-47. They cannot hold for the final shot. 19 to play, 12 to shoot. Brunson, far side mid-range, gets the step on Henri. Got fouled and almost banked it in and one. So he will get 2 foul shots. He's 1 for 7 from the field today, but it's still been enough for the Knicks.
When Jalen Brunson is able to cut out to the wing, he's working on the right side, y'all, but he's leading with his left hand, and he's able to get that drop step on the catch, on the wing. It's such a quick first step, especially when a big switches out. They have no chance. They're already on his hip. Unless they are Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley type, and can use their length just to get to the ball without making any contact, they're in jail.
Glad you didn't say Draymond Green in that list.
No, because Draymond Green doesn't have the length or size. He'd be in trouble too.
Brunson rims out the first free throw at the basket to our left. Look at the defense lineup out there. I heard someone say on a very popular podcast that Karl Anthony Towns committed a, quote, dumb foul at the end of Game 4, his 5th foul in the game. That was an intentional foul so they could sub in McBride and Robinson to get that big stop on Cunningham and company at the end of the game. It's just sometimes your reputation follows you to an unfair extent. Free throw made by Brunson here. There's a foul underneath the basket. Who's it going to be on? Robinson, Harris, and Cunningham are all tangled up. It's going to be a foul against Robinson. They will count the second free throw, so it's a 3-point Knick lead. Mitchell Robinson will pick up the personal.
Well, that was kind of silly. I didn't see what... How does Mitchell what? Tobias Harris turns and holds Mitchell Robinson. I'm not saying, oh, so Mitch's offhand hits Tim. Well, he's okay. That's a no call to me.
Interesting. It will put Hardaway at the free throw line where he makes the first. It does give the Knicks a chance at the last possession. 16.4 left before halftime, and that's going to get Hart and Towns back on the floor for McBride and Robinson.
That would have been an interesting challenge just to see how it's adjudicated, because I think you would see that Mitchell Robinson makes contact with Hardaway because of the contact created by Tobias Harris. But at this point in the ball game, and considering Mitch's role, I understand why it's not challenged.
Second free throw for Hardaway at the basket to our right. Gets it to go. It's a 1-point game. 16.4 to go in the second quarter. So the Knicks can hold for the final shot. They've got their starting 5 on the floor. Brunson just does get it across midcourt, defended by Thompson. High ball screen from Anunoby. Thompson fights through it. Brunson, right wing, forced to pass inside, tipped by Reed. 1 second left. Thompson got the heave off in time, but it's off the shot clock to send us to halftime with the Knicks leading the Pistons 50-49.
Well, one of my keys in this one was the activity in the paint. The Knicks have 30 points in the paint. They're +8 in that category. And tonight, they have the edge in rebounding, 27-33. That is huge because they are surviving what is a drought of a three-point performance, having gone 3 of 12 in that quarter. Listen, so many times If Jalen Brunson is not on, the Knicks are struggling. Tonight, though, you see the difference that Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby, who had a terrific offensive finish to the end of the regular season. Both of those guys leading the way with 11 points, and the Knicks' balanced attack has given them a 1-point lead at half.
I think it's tough to close out a team in Game 5. Just ask the Indiana Pacers. They're in overtime against a Lillard-less Milwaukee Bucks team who just went on a 9-0 run to take a 6-point lead in the final 2 minutes of OT in Indiana. What a great playoffs it's been already in the NBA. Knicks by 1 at the break. Pat O'Keefe has your halftime coverage next. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable, it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Grand Marnier is an award-winning blend of fine cognac and orange liqueur. It's made for those who live to step outside the box, who like to put a twist on the traditional and believe in a world that's not just good, but grand. Visit grandmarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2022, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style. Always drink responsibly.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
The NBA playoffs are finally here, and it's about to get wild with all the high-stakes drama, insane buzzer beaters, and jaw-dropping dunks. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is giving you a chance to boost your winnings with an NBA profit boost every single game. Every single game, all playoffs long. Check out the app for the day's special boost. And with live betting on every game, you can make your move as the action unfolds in real time. Don't miss out. It's time to cash in while the action heats up. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ to get your profit boost for every NBA playoff game. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. Physically present in New York. Eligibility restrictions apply. Get one NBA profit boost per game after opt-in. Boost expires at the end of each game. Boosts, bet criteria, and maximum bet limits vary. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Total Ortho Express is a state-of-the-art orthopedic care center with 4 Long Island locations: East Meadow, Syosset, Massapequa, and Deer Park. Injuries can happen at any time and can often require immediate attention. Total Ortho Express provides immediate walk-in orthopedic care from highly awarded specialists and surgeons, instead of waiting in an emergency room or a general urgent care. Total Ortho Express is open 7 days a week with extended hours so that our patients have convenient and immediate access to the care they need. Learn more at TotalOrthoExpress.com.
This is the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. Now, here's Pat O'Keefe.
And this Game 5 at Madison Square Garden being played so far with the intensity befitting of an elimination game. That's what it is for the Detroit Pistons anyway. Also befitting of this entire series, which has been very tight. Tight again, 50-49. Knicks lead Detroit at the half. It is time now for the New York Knicks halftime report, brought to you by Spectrum. Neither team able to pull away. The Pistons' largest lead was 7. That's when they jumped out to a 9-2 lead. The Knicks have led by as many as 5. OG Anunoby and Karl Anthony Towns, the 2 leading scorers in the game, with 11 points apiece. points have been at a premium. The Knicks are shooting 41% from the field and just 3 for 12 from downtown. The Pistons are shooting 39% from the field and 28% from behind the three-point arc. Asar Thompson and Tobias Harris each with 10 to lead the way for the Pistons. The Knicks, unlike in game number 4, getting a big lift off the bench. And that brings us to the best parts of the half, brought to you by Smashburger.
McBride, far corner three, in and out, rebound Towns.
He's got to continue to let that fly.
Backs down Harris, righty, jump hook, no, tip slam Robinson, and he lets out a yell as he attacked the baseline far side.
Mitchell Robinson, 11 first half minutes, 7 points, 9 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds, a huge lift off the bench. In his first stint of 6 minutes, the Knicks were a plus 10 when he was on the floor. And for a while, Robinson was among the top 2 scorers for the Knicks. That was the best parts of the half, brought to you by Smashburger. With locations throughout the New York City area, Smashburger is ready to greet you with a variety of smash-to-order burgers, fries and sides, milkshakes, and more. To find your nearest location or to place an order today, visit smashburger.com. 50-49, the Knicks lead the Pistons. Knicks looking to close out this best-of-7 series, leading it 3-1. The Knicks have not done well in the third quarter of any game this series. So over the first 4, the Knicks are cumulatively a minus 29 in the third quarters of those games. Tom Thibodeau was asked earlier tonight, why have the third quarters been such an issue?
Well, and that's the challenge. You have to play for 48 minutes, not let your guard down, and keep moving forward.
Now, by contrast, the Knicks have dominated play in the fourth quarters, including their come-from-behind victory in Game 4 on Sunday in Detroit. Over the 4 games in this series so far, the Knicks have outscored the Pistons by 21 points in the fourth quarter. What is Detroit head coach J.B. Bickerstaff seeing in those fourth quarters?
Our pace changes. We're at our best when we're able to play early in the clock, and you go back and look at our early actions, and they've been our best, most efficient offense. So I think in that fourth quarter, we kind of slow the game down and start to manipulate things. But we can still do that, but we need to do it quicker, get into that action quicker, find more pace in our fourth quarter, and then obviously take care of the basketball. It's hard to win games when you turn over the ball in the fourth quarter.
Rep the orange and blue with the latest pieces from the Knicks playoff collection. Head to Knicks.com to shop now. Jalen Brunson had 15 points in the fourth quarter after injuring his ankle late in the third in their come-from-behind victory on Sunday in Game 4 in Detroit. And Brunson said afterwards that Tom Thibodeau deserves a lot of credit for how the Knicks play late.
He is the head coach. He does a lot for our team, and it's a lot of people who don't give him that credit. But I'm happy to say that he puts us in position where we're prepared, we're ready, and he lets us play. He lets us play for sure. And he lets us talk things out. He talks things out too, but for the most part, he's going to let us play, he's going to let us figure it out, and we're going to have to figure it out together. And he puts us in a position to be successful, and that's how he's been since I've known him.
Now tonight, Jalen Brunson did not make his first field goal in this game until there was 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the second quarter. He's got 6 points and 4 assists, is shooting 1 for 7 from the field and 4 for 7 from the free throw line. Cade Cunningham also struggling with 4 points on 2 of 8 shooting, and he has missed both of his 3-point attempts. For the series, Cunningham's shooting percentage has been low because of the defensive presence of OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. And Tom Thibodeau was asked specifically about Bridges, what he thinks is working so well for him on the defensive end.
I think for the entire season, I think it's been a steady climb for him. He's always had that ability. He's always been a very good defensive player. He's got great length, anticipation, knows how to challenge a shot, can be very disruptive, can get to a second and third effort. And when you have long wings like that, it makes your defense a lot better. I think that's what's causing a lot of turnovers is the ball pressure is strong. Then we can get up into the passing lanes, and then we can get some turnovers and get into the open floor and get some easy baskets, and that'll fuel your offense.
And what does Brunson think about the defensive chemistry between Anunoby and Bridges?
They've been great. They've been great all year, regardless of what people say or think. It's tough to guard people in this league. This league is clearly offensively driven, and it's tough to stop players one-on-one. But when you have 2 guys like that who just go out there and play hard every possession, I like our chances. It's just they've been doing that since I've known them, since I've seen them play, and I'm just happy they're on my team.
Junior Knicks summer basketball camps registrations are now open. Sign your player up to grow with the game this summer. Campers get access to our elite Junior Knicks coaches and visits from special Knicks guests. Explore our multiple sessions located throughout the tri-state area today at Knicks.com/camp. Halftime of Game 5 at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks a 1-point lead over the Pistons, 50-49. 4 NBA playoff games on the schedule today, and a couple of other teams with a chance at closeout victories. In Boston, the Celtics can close out their first-round series against the Magic. They are just underway. And the Pacers have just closed out their first-round playoff series against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks led this game 118-111 with 40 seconds to go in overtime. And then the Pacers finished the game on an 8-0 run. So Indiana wins that series 4-1, eliminating Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks in the first round of the playoffs yet again. Giannis, for his part, had 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 13 assists in the loss. The fourth and final game tonight will be the Clippers at Denver. That series is tied at 2 games apiece. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Hey, this is Brian Geltzeiler. Wake up early with me in 2007 NBA Coach of the Year Sam Mitchell every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern as we break down everything NBA on Channel 86.
Pat O'Keefe back with you on the New York Knicks halftime report. Knicks trying to close out the Pistons tonight. Knicks trying to avoid another tough third quarter in this series. That was the New York Knicks halftime report, brought to you by Spectrum, a fast and reliable connection backed by a 100% U.S.-based workforce, so you get the best customer service experience possible. Spectrum. Second half coming up from the Garden with Tyler Murray and Monica McNutt, and I will be back with you on the post-game show. Knicks at the break lead the Pistons 50-49. I'm Pat O'Keefe, and you're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This has been the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. The second half is coming right up. Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
There could be a trio of NBA first-round series coming to a close tonight with the home teams in each case up 3-1. That includes the Knicks hosting the Pistons, and you can hear the play-by-play now, followed by Game 5 between the Clippers and the Nuggets with that series dead even at 2 apiece. It's all on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports, wherever you are. Your team plays here. The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Worth 400 from Texas Motor Speedway on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race. Plus, 2 hours of post-race coverage on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
The best place to get your basketball fix every weekday is Give and Go with Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez, and former NBA champion Antonio Daniels on NBA Radio.
If you got Steph, you got a chance.
Evan Mobley, his unicorn status is about to be unlocked.
They'll cover every story and talk to great guests across the association every afternoon.
NBA Hall of Famer Mike Breen.
Anything shy of certainly the finals would be a disappointment for the Celtics.
It's Give and Go, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, only on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the Sirius XM app.
From dramatic walk-offs.
This ball is crushed into the trees. Grand slam.
To jaw-dropping web gems.
A diving catch over the shoulder by Johnson.
College softball and baseball are heating up, and you can catch the action on Sirius XM. Hear live play-by-play from the nation's top conferences and powerhouse programs all season long. Stay connected to the action on Sirius XM or streaming anytime on the Sirius XM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
When it's game time, it's Tully time. The start of the second half is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the all-new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. We already know what one half of the Eastern Conference semifinals will look like. The 1-seed Cleveland Cavaliers, a commanding sweep of the Miami Heat, who have a lot of changes to make this summer. They will take on the 4 seed Indiana Pacers. Now, that was probably the expectation for 99% of the league, and the 1% is the Heat and the Bucks. But how it happened in Indiana, very interesting. They got a late steal in overtime. It looked like the Bucks were going to force a Game 6, which would have been back home, but a game-winning layup from Tyrese Halliburton sends Indiana to round 2. And a benches clearing altercation afterward with Antetokounmpo in the center of it. And, of course, the question around the league will be, did he just play his last game with the Milwaukee Bucks? That's enough about that. The Knicks have a 50-49 lead over the Pistons as we are set to begin the second half. Monica, is it fair to say the Knicks should be pleased that they're winning despite not having a great first half, or did you see some major issues that need correcting in the first 2 quarters?
It's plenty fair to say that, particularly that you are able to survive a half in which Jalen Brunson is not his characteristic self, having just 6 points on 1 of 7 from the field. So, yeah, they should feel good because he's a guy that is accountable and able to adjust more times than not. Now, we talked about this a little bit pregame. The third quarter has proven to be pivotal one way or another. I won't say that the third has been more pivotal than the fourth because the Knicks have amassed some pretty impressive comebacks in this series. But how they start this third quarter, to me, has the opportunity to set the tone, to either put the Pistons away or continue to give them life that they can extend this series.
I guess the short version of the story is the Pistons have dominated the third quarter, which has required fourth quarter comebacks just about every game from the Knicks. And they've done it every game, including the loss in Game 2 when they tied it at 94. Knicks ball from left to right, already 2 on the shot clock for Towns, has to launch at the horn, air ball to right wing 3, and the Pistons get a defensive stop on a shot clock violation to begin the third quarter.
All right, so similar to how we started the basketball game, and look, I'm just going to chalk it up to Karl-Anthony Towns needing to take some shots to get in rhythm, because after he took what was a funky shot, in my mind, in that second quarter, he then found his rhythm indeed.
Yeah, Sunday's Game 4, it was a 28-14 third quarter advantage for Detroit, and in Game 1, they had a 10-point edge. Cade Cunningham stepped on the near sideline before driving baseline, so each team has a turnover to start the third quarter. No standout scorers. The Knicks have 2 guys with 11. That's Anunoby and Towns. And the Pistons have a pair with 10, Harris and Thompson. Cade Cunningham just 4 points in 16 minutes as Thompson runs over Brunson on a dribble handoff, and they'll call him for his first foul. I guess that's the silver lining for Detroit. Cade Cunningham, for the most part, has shown up eventually in these games, and you have to figure he's going to bring something for the third and fourth quarters. He's 2 of 8 for just 4 points.
I am surprised in terms of his productivity, but again, I credit the Knicks in terms of each series. They are getting more familiar with the Pistons in terms of how to stifle him and the rest of this squad, quite honestly.
Brunson and the Knicks from left to right. He's got Thompson on him, takes him to the right elbow, sidestep jumper, too strong from 2-point range, and Brunson is 1 of 8. Thompson on the break, catches and jams one home. He beat Brunson all the way back down court off a good feed from Cunningham, with the Pistons lead by 1. Do the Knicks have that killer instinct here in Game 5 to close out the series? Brunson feeds Anunoby, open 3 from the angle, good from the far side, and OG Anunoby's got a game-high 13 points.
I love the confident way that he is letting that shot fly.
Make it 14 for OG. He's 2 of 3 from downtown. Entered the game 6 of 23 from beyond the arc in the postseason. Hardaway couldn't connect on a right angle 3, and they're going to call a loose ball foul on Josh Hart, which watching it live is confusing because Hart was taken down to the floor from behind by Asar Thompson.
If this holds, this is his 4th foul, but I think head coach Tom Thibodeau might be looking down to his second row benches to see if he should challenge this.
Well, the initial contact was from Thompson, but then Hart did reach up behind his head and grab the right forearm of Thompson, so probably a double foul if anything. They do not challenge. Hardaway gets an open look on a left wing 3 and nails it to give Detroit a 54-53 lead 2 minutes into the third quarter.
We're going to come back to my take on double fouls, but carry on.
Yeah, double foul, not exactly. So probably a no call, I guess, is the more realistic
outcome. That's what I'm saying,
outcome.
Right? If you're going to call double foul, that's a no call. Let's go.
Right. You almost never see a double foul. Towns up top, left side drive on Harris, gets past him, but then dishes out to the far corner, and Bridges misses a three, soft off the front rim. Anunoby and Hardaway go crashing into each other at midcourt. OG's left shoe came off. Hardaway's writhing in pain.
Did they call a foul?
The whistle blew, and they are calling a foul on OG Anunoby, who points up to the video board to tell Mark Davis to watch what happened. Well, both of those players wear the number 8, so yeah, they're going to call it on OG Anunoby.
I mean,
from the angle we saw, Hardaway just tackled Anunoby at midcourt as he was trying to put his shoe on. Now, Hardaway was looking the other way, so he, quote-unquote, inadvertently ran into Anunoby and conveniently drew the first foul on OG. It's hard to be an official.
That is interesting.
Pistons ball from right to left. They lead by 1. 9:48 to go in the third quarter. Pick and roll. Cunningham and Duren. Cunningham takes to the left side of the paint, draws a foul, and hits a leaner and one.
Karl-Anthony Towns had his hands all over Cade Cunningham on that one.
It will be the third foul on Towns. Hart has 4, 2 apiece on Bridges and Brunson.
To Cunningham's credit, this is why he attacks Karl-Anthony Towns. That's a tough assignment for Cat to move in space. Josh Hart was there and helped, but the foul had already been committed. Look, we just talked about these third quarter starts, and this one has been fragmented so far for the New York Knicks. And so they've got to settle down, get some quality looks, be prepared. They got to know that this energy is coming from this Pistons team who has fought in every game of this series.
They lead this third quarter 8-3 and lead the game by 4. Anunoby to the free throw line, tied up by Cunningham, who tore the ball away, and then Anunoby reached in, and they're going to call him for his second foul.
I don't like this. There's too much ISO for the Knicks in general.
I thought they should have called a jump ball. They let it go for a lot longer than usual, and then as Cunningham won possession, they called the foul on Anunoby. So third quarters in the series, including today, a plus 34 for the Pistons. Duren inside to the dunker spot for Thompson, and he'll jam it down. And that play's worked every time. It's a 6-point Detroit lead.
At this point, I'd like to see the Knicks load up on that play because I have not seen Jalen Duren make a pass out to a three-point shooter.
Josh Hart frustrated as he calls a timeout. You know it's coming, but they can't find a way to stop it. Another bad start to the second half, an 8-0 Detroit run. They lead at 59-53. 9:09 remains in this third quarter in Game 5. Chance to clinch the series for the Knicks. But they are down by 6 early in the third. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Hey everyone, looking for some fun and excitement? You've got to check out Chumba Casino. It's 100% free to play. No purchase required. Enjoy hundreds of thrilling online social casino games anytime, anywhere. Like bingo, slingo, slots, and solitaire. Whether you're chilling at home or on the go, get in on the action. Play now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes at ChumbaCasino.com. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, Delaware, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, Knicks fans. Now at Verizon, they're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on my plan. And you can get a single line for just $45 a month when you switch and bring your phone. That's their best price ever on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Guaranteed for 3 years. Because at Verizon, they got you. Visit your local Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off of your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FANSGET10 for the largest selection of international foods, an all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce, and $10 off of your first order of $50. Use promo code FANSGET10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Knicks basketball on ESPN New York is brought to you by Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the New York Knicks. Superior light beer. Knicks trail the Pistons 59-53. Another frustrating start to the third quarter. The Knicks have entered the fourth quarter trailing in 3 of the 4 games, and it's mostly because of what's happened in this frame. They're down 10-3. Josh Hart told us after the win on Sunday they hated how they came out of the locker room from halftime in both games on the road in Detroit, so they're well aware of it. It's a matter of turning it around quickly before it gets out of hand like it did those last 2 games.
Step 1 is obviously identifying an issue, and then you got to figure out a way to resolve it. Now, the beauty of this one is it's only a 2-possession ball game, and to me, you have not seen the best offense from the Knicks in this third quarter at all. They've got to go ahead and adjust to how they want to play the dribble penetration, the screen, and the big at the high post, which is usually Jalen Duren. Asar Thompson now has a high in this series, a series high as far as scoring goes, and he's just hanging out in that dunker spot with 14 points. So the Knicks have to figure out a way to be a little bit more disruptive of that play and then create the spacing so that they can be aggressive in return on offense.
Thompson averaged just 10 points a game during the regular season. Knicks ball from left to right. They're down by 6. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hart on the near side. Arc defended by Duren. Hand off to Bridges, who's picked up by Hardaway. Pick and roll with Hart at the foul line. Step back long 2 for Bridges. Short. Rebound. Hart and Cunningham fighting forward, and Cunningham wins the battle. Cunningham up top. Hands to Thompson, who wasn't initially ready for it, but picked up the loose ball along the left side perimeter. We've got Harris defended by Brunson, who catches at the free throw line. Puts his body into Brunson, faces up, 1 dribble, pull up, foul line jumper, back rim, no. Rebound tipped by Hart, gathered in by Bridges. Felt like Harris knew the hand was in from Brunson, tried to draw a foul. Hart knifes inside, hits a tough right-hand bank shot over Jalen Duren, and it's a 4-point game.
Josh Hart now into double figures. You've got 3 Knicks starters into double figures, and Jalen Brunson is still at 6 points. The balance of tonight's game is a silver lining without Brunson.
Of course, in Game 3, they had 4 starters with 20 points. Cunningham hop step in the lane and fouled from behind by Anunoby. So that's his 3rd foul as he missed the righty flip shot. 2 free throws coming for Cunningham.
OG Anunoby got completely behind Cade Cunningham and goes after this block and clearly clocks him. I don't know if he actually hit his head, but he definitely clocks him enough that you see his hair and his head react to the contact.
Remember, Cunningham had just 4 points in the first half. He was 2 of 8 from the field. He's about to match that total with these free throws as he makes the first.
Coming into this one, I know we're starting to get to the free throw conversation, but the Pistons have been really good in this series as far as their restricted area scoring. They're shooting 63% in the restricted area, which is why the paint is such an important key to this ball game.
Cunningham misses the second free throw. Successful jinx there. But yeah, that paint advantage has really helped the Pistons hang around in this series, despite shooting just 35% from 3 as a team. Knicks ball from left to right. They're in white tonight. Brunson far corner, pump fake and a baseline drive. Hero step around Cunningham, who blocked him. Loose ball came back to Brunson. Bank shot dropped in. Nice job by Towns to punch that one back to his captain. It's a 3-point game.
That turned out well, but I don't like the process. Why is Jalen Brunson driving into the area where Cat is trying to post up? It's too much.
Cunningham and Duren pick and roll. Cade at the foul line. Pump fake. Spins. Hands to Harris at the circle. He's picked up by Anunoby. Gets rid of it to Hardaway. Back to Harris right wing. Drives on Brunson. Far side baseline. Pull up for a tough 2 that misses short. Rebound out to Hart. Off to his right for Anunoby. Tough right-hand catch at the wing. Back to Bridges. Catch and shoot. No, he gets rid of it to Brunson. Far corner 3. In and out. Soft miss rolled around the rim. At midcourt, it's Asar Thompson. Stripped by Hart. Got it back. Finds Hardaway open 3. Rimmed out from the far side angle. Outlet from Townsend. Midcourt for Hart. 3-on-3 the other way. Hart darts inside. Missed his signature fast break righty layup. Looking at Jason Goebel for a foul. It's not coming. Cunningham pushed off and carried, but he gets called for neither. Now a whistle and I believe a technical on Jalen Brunson. Yes, that is the call. So free throws coming up for Detroit. 1 to be exact. They lead by 3 with 6:51 to go in the third. And you know exactly what Monica McNutt's about to say.
Tell me.
They can't let the officials let you get thrown off your game.
That's why we're partners. Beyond that, this is the sequence in which the experience and the maturity of the Knicks is supposed to show up. So often. The Knicks have tells. You and I have sat here some combination of almost 82 games this season. The Knicks have tells, and when they start talking to the refs too much, it's never a good thing.
Cunningham gets the technical free throw. Now he's at the free throw line. Alley-oop for Duran. Couldn't throw it down. Got his own rebound, though. Backdoor cut for Harris. Layup off the front rim and in. It is 63-57 Detroit. 6.5 to go in the third.
Despite all of the extra, we're still where we were 2 minutes ago. It's a 6-point game. Calm down.
Towns straight on. Dribbles to the right wing. Hands to Anunoby. Sets a screen for him. Off the dribble. OG finds a wide open Josh Hart. Left wing. Catch and shoot. Triple. Back rim. Rebound Thompson. A straight on line for Hart, but just too much mustard on it. And now a whistle and a timeout from J.B. Bickerstaff with 6:15 to go in the third. And he might have done the Knicks a favor here.
Indeed.
They were stressed out. Asar Thompson actually put his hands up in the air and looked at his bench as if to ask why. Although we can't do direct translations from up here.
That's body language. We can read that.
63-57 Pistons with a 6-point lead with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Embrace the power.
Start your engine.
And speed of the NTT IndyCar Series on Sirius XM.
Battle the start-finish line. Alexander Rossi goes to P1.
Hear every thrilling moment of the 2025 IndyCar season, including the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indy 500.
The green flag flies. They reach the yard of bricks.
The season rolls on Sunday afternoon at 1:30 Eastern with the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix live on IndyCar Nation Channel 218 and the Sirius XM app.
Hear every game of the NBA playoffs on Sirius XM.
He's going to fire up a three for the win. And he hit it.
Don't miss a second of the action all the way through the NBA Finals.
Tatum has to force a three at the buzzer, and he got it.
And throughout the playoffs, get closer to the storylines that matter on NBA Radio, Channel 86.
There are certain guys that you need to be a part of your roster to win NBA championships.
Listen to home and away broadcasts of every NBA playoff game on your radio and the Sirius XM app.
The first place to talk hoops every weekday morning is the starting lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
They're breaking down all the latest from the association.
I think he's a baller, and I think people would give up assets to get a guy like that.
Along with some laughs.
Kevin Durant, you need to get married and be miserable like the rest of us. Reprimanding the fans for booing, it's like, come on, man.
The starting lineup, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern. Only on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the Sirius XM app.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you dominate. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90. In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Pistons by 6 just before the midway point in the third quarter. Knicks basketball on ESPN New York is brought to you by Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the New York Knicks. Superior light beer. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. The Knicks have struggled offensively. They are shooting 38% from the field, but that's nothing new. In fact, they struggled almost as much in game 4. Actually, a bit worse. They were at 37% overall. The two-point shooting has let them down a little bit. They actually wound up at 45% from three-point range in that one-point win on Sunday. So there have been opportunities to cut into this deficit. You've got Brunson and Bridges a combined 3 of 17. And as we saw in Game 4, their early struggles did not last, certainly in the fourth quarter.
Look, all the numbers are great, and they are important context. But right here, right now, you've got an opportunity to respond and to do something that hasn't been done in nearly 30 years here at the Garden. And frankly, you give yourself the best opportunity to prepare for whoever the opponent is going to be in the next round. But it's going to require a level of grittiness that we saw to finish Game 4, a level of focus and maturity that we saw to finish Game 1, and we know that this team has it in them.
The Knicks have not clinched a playoff series at home since 1999. Harris catch and shoot 3, good from the left wing, and the Pistons have the largest lead of the night for either side. They're up by 9.
Now, Tobias Harris was 4 of 5 in game 1 from 3, and then he had just hit 2 threes combined in the next few games until tonight.
The series has felt like the Knicks have had to go down by this much to turn whatever it is they've been able to turn on late. Brunson steps through a double team at the foul line. Ridiculous left-hand shot as an air ball, but he got fouled. I've never seen Brunson take a shot like that. It was like he pulled it back to throw like a football or a baseball.
But remember, game 2, again, same sort of theme, playing to get whistles.
And he does, in a similar vein, draw a foul on Asar Thompson. That's his second. And Brunson will get free throws here. The Pistons are in the bonus. The Knicks are not. Only 2 fouls on Detroit, but that was obviously in the active shooting. 5:35 to go in the third. Pistons by 9. Starting 5 has played the entire third quarter so far for New York as Brunson nails the free throw.
And if they continue to be down, unless they go on a run here, I don't know that you're going to see some of the usual fourth quarter.
They needed to play Deuce McBride a little bit longer than normal in Game 4 because of foul trouble.
And the ankle injury.
That's probably more the reason. As Brunson gets both free throws, he's missed 3 tonight, so he's 6 of 9, but now he has 10 points. Knicks crowd has been muted tonight. It's been a frustrating Game 5 so far, but plenty of time left. 5.5 to go. Cunningham alley-oop to Thompson, and he throws down another jam. He's got a game high, Asar Thompson, 16 points.
So Jalen Brunson is hesitant, and he's 7 of 9 from the field. What a game for that young man. Jalen Brunson is hesitant to step in there because Tim Hardaway Jr. is on the same side.
Brunson gets past Cunningham to the foul line. Pass inside to Bridges, who blows the layup. Tried an alley-oop from the far side of the rim, but it has slipped out of his hands where he just plain missed it short. Thompson knifes into the paint, reach and foul on either Bridges or Towns. If it's Towns, it's 4. If it's Bridges, it's 3.
Karl-Anthony Towns has to be smarter than that.
It's 3 on Bridges. And that's free throws for Asar Thompson, who has missed his last 4. But Mitchell Robinson will come into the game. 4:58 left in the third. Detroit, once again, has to be happy with where they're at toward the end of the third quarter. But Thompson misses his 5th consecutive free throw off the front rim. And Robinson will come in for Karl-Anthony Towns.
Earlier today, I got to join our friends Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on their radio show. And I don't think we discussed this on the air, but one of our conversations...
You definitely did.
...was... Did we talk about this?
No.
You don't know what I'm going to say next.
Okay.
How the Pistons have sort of caused the Knicks to harken back to last year's squad as Thompson got that second free throw to go.
Oh, you know what? You did talk about that on the air.
We did? Okay.
It brought out the toughness.
There you go.
And grit from what we saw a season ago as Thompson made the second free throw but then fouls Brunson at midcourt. So he's quickly picked up 3 after staying out of foul trouble for the entire first half.
Okay, so to that point, I don't know that I've seen the toughness that's been required so far in this series tonight from the Knicks.
They've got time to prove it like they did in Game 4. Brunson at the foul line. Pump fake, leans in, finds a baseline cutter. That's Josh Hart. Reverse layup is good. And he got popped in the back of the head, but no foul call on Tobias Harris.
So the Knicks run the same play that's been working for the Pistons, basically.
4:30 left in the third. 8-point game. Thompson in the paint. Left-hand layup. No, but a foul on Mitchell Robinson. So Thompson will get back to the free throw line. Robinson picks up his 3rd. Knicks have been called for 18 fouls. Really nobody safe from foul trouble besides Jalen Brunson, who has 2. Everybody else has 3 or more.
Asar Thompson is trying to assault the rim every time he gets near the restricted area.
About 80% of his points have come in the paint this year. Not a good three-point shooter. He's okay from the stripe, but today he hasn't shown it. He does make that one, though. So it's a 9-point lead for Detroit. And this is when it can get tough against the Pistons. If Cade Cunningham finally finds a rhythm, he has been tough to slow down. But so far, just 9 points. Thompson gets both this time around, so it's a 10-point lead again for Detroit, matching the largest lead for either side. Knicks ball from left to right. It's Robinson out there with the rest of the starting 5. Towns getting a breather. Pick and roll, Robinson and Brunson left side, but Thompson easily gets through the screen. They pick and roll again. Brunson knifes inside, dish to a cutting Hart, but a block on a reverse layup by Duren out of bounds. He'll stay with the Knicks with 7 to shoot, as Duren saw that play coming the whole way because he's been running it on the other end. Deuce McBride going to come in for Mikal Bridges, who is 1 of 7.
And Jalen Duren has been a terrific rim presence for the Pistons all season long. A versatile sort of big, obviously loves getting those block shots. And he's wised up. He had some really notably goofy turnovers in the first 2 games. We haven't seen that as much in the following 2 and now into the third.
Knicks need a spark. Let's see if McBride can provide that off the bench. Long inbound to Robinson near midcourt with 5 to shoot. Hands off to Brunson, left wing. A pick and roll. Brunson defended by Schroeder. Pump fake, leans in. Tough three-pointer is good. He rattled it in. Schroeder in disbelief. That was an answered prayer for Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks are back within 7.
Will that be the one that takes the lid off the basket for JB?
From the field. Walk up 3 for Cunningham. In and out. That one was halfway down. Rebound tipped by Duren, but it winds up with McBride. Knicks from left to right. Schroeder flopped at midcourt. No call. Brunson right side drive. Hands off to Robinson. Hangs in the air. Got fouled and missed a right-hand layup, but 2 free throws to come. The crowd is finally into it. 3:37 left in the third. Is this perhaps the turning point for New York?
I only want Mitchell Robinson trying to assault the rim.
I feel bad for the rims in this third quarter. You got Thompson committing crimes on the left side.
Full-on assault, snatch it off the backboard. That's the energy that the Garden needs right now.
Oh, you didn't like that smooth right-hand layup?
No, because it's a miss and you end up at the free throw line.
I'm with you. Robinson was 1 of 2 earlier. That one's very short. Paul Reed will come in for Jalen Duren, who has 4 fouls. You've got 3 fouls on Thompson and Cunningham. Well, the Knicks have 3 on Anunoby, Towns, Bridges, and Robinson, with 4 on Josh Hart, who's still out there.
This, to me, is where you consider going Karl Anthony Towns over this next 3 while Jalen Duren is not on the floor, because Paul Reed can't guard Karl Anthony Towns.
Robinson gets the second foul shot, so he's 2 for 4 tonight. Knicks back within 6. Coach McNutt correct again. Towns off the bench to the scorer's table. 3.5 to go in the third. Cunningham out high. Crosses over Anunoby, middle of the paint. Blocked by Robinson. Loose ball picked up by Hart. He leads the NBA in that department. On the break at the top of the key. Finds Anunoby at the right point. Crossover and a drive into the paint. Euro step across the key and he floats one in. Knicks clawing their way back from down 10. It's a 4-point game. 3:04 to go before the fourth quarter. Schroeder at the near side angle. Baseline drive. Sidestep. Pull up 2. Back rim. No. Rebound Anunoby. Schroeder's had so many crowd silencers in this series but couldn't hit there. And then he intentionally fouls Mitchell Robinson. Karl Anthony Towns can't come in because Mitch has taken the shots. I'm planting my flag, Monica. I think Mitch is getting both of these free throws.
All right, let's go.
2:52 left in the third quarter. He can at the very least make it a 1-possession game if he gets 1.
Big closeout game energy if he can get both.
About the work he's put in, not just his free throw shooting, but just getting in better shape to make sure he was ready for the conditioning needs in the NBA. Apparently, he lost over 20 pounds.
Changed up his diet some, which is a big deal for a guy from Louisiana. All that good food down there. I love New Orleans.
First free throw for Robinson. In and out. Unrewarded faith, or maybe I just jinxed him.
I was just about to say, are you taking responsibility or not? I'm not going to put that on you, partner.
Got to have confidence, and Robinson started his career as a solid free throw shooter. We'll see if the Knicks consider fouling to get him out and get Towns in. Second free throw, drops right in there. He cocks his head to the side in frustration. The second shot was perfect. In a parallel universe, he made both. 71-68, Detroit leads New York. 2:45 to go in the third. From down 10, they're within 3. Pick and roll, Cunningham and Reed. Passes left for Beasley. His three-pointer too short. Good closeout from Brunson. Tipped ahead to Hart. Across the timeline. At the foul line. Steps in the paint. Hits a right-hand layup. It's a 1-point game. Timeout, J.B. Bickerstaff. What do you call deja vu when it happens 5 games in a row? Bad start to the third. Knicks overcome it. They're down by 1 with 2:30 left in the third quarter.
It's a 9-0 run. I want to be Shakespearean and say, deja vu, do you go by another nameth Josh Hart? No?
I've got nothing for you. I'll write you a sonnet during the timeout. Although
God, please don't take me back to those terrible memories of poetry. The point is, though, the Knicks on a 9-0 run here, and Josh Hart, seriously, 15 points for him. He's the second leading scorer for all of the Knicks. But his activity, 7 rebounds so far tonight, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Mitchell Robinson in this stretch, as much as we have discussed Karl-Anthony Towns coming back in the floor to take advantage, the activity of Mitchell Robinson has helped to buoy this run.
Mitchell Robinson, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
There you go.
9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 3 of 6 from the free throw line. And admittedly, yes, it's been a good strategy for the Pistons to foul Mitchell Robinson. But time and time again, it only seems to take one big make for the Knicks to, I don't want to say wake up, but realize that they've got a big run in them. Sunday, it was Mikal Bridges, those 2 corner threes to start the comeback from down 11 early in the fourth quarter. And here late in the third, it was Jalen Brunson, who was locked up by Dennis Schroeder, had to launch at the end of the shot clock, and he rattled it home. And that seems to have gotten things rolling for New York.
That basket got this place back into it for sure. It is just the first 3 of the night for Jalen Brunson, and for it to have come from that side of the floor, it was reminiscent of Game 2 last year when he hit that big 3 that was his lone 3 of the game.
Pistons ball from right to left. Schroeder marked by Deuce McBride at midcourt. Stays with him through a Harris screen. Far corner Beasley. Pick and slip with Reed. Almost dropped it. Got it up top to Schroeder. Pick and roll with Reed again. Pocket pass tipped and stolen. Robinson flipped it over to McBride. Hart tried an alley-oop for Robinson, but it's stolen by Schroeder. Beasley right wing. Attacks Brunson. Layup dropped in there over the block attempt of Deuce McBride.
The defense of Mitchell Robinson is on point, but the Knicks have to settle down just a bit. They're rushing and they don't need to.
Josh Hart slapped his right hip in frustration. He knows he made a mistake trying for the alley-oop. Pocket pass to Robinson at the foul line. Out to Hart left wing. Gets to the elbow. Now an alley-oop. That one worked. Dunked in by Mitchell Robinson at 73-72 Detroit. 99 seconds left before the fourth quarter.
And Mitchell Robinson, folks, is trending toward a double-double. He's got 9 rebounds in this one and just scored his 11th point.
They never put Karl-Anthony Towns on the floor.
Sure didn't.
He is no longer at the scorer's table. Cunningham marked by Brunson. Up top for Beasley. Drives down the middle of the lane. Tough runner is good from just inside the foul line over Anunoby. That's the toughest shot Beasley's made all series. 75-72 Pistons approaching the final minute of the third. Brunson off the screen. Catches out high. Fakes a handoff to Hart right wing. 2 guys on him and they drop off, so it's one-on-one with Schroeder. Right side screen from Robinson. They leave Hart open left wing. Extra pass far corner for Anunoby, who throws it right to Cunningham underneath the hoop. 4-on-3 the other way for Detroit. Beasley far corner. Open 3. Short.
Great contest.
Rebound McBride. You're right. Anunoby got all the way up into the far corner. Knicks do need to slow down.
Settle, right?
And they will. McBride tried to pass it to Hart in a crowd, and they get it back toward midcourt with Brunson. 10 to shoot. 37 to play. 3-point Pistons lead late third quarter. Brunson from left to right. One-on-one with Schroeder. Takes him to the right elbow. Steps back. Leans in. Pump fake. Inside to Robinson. Tipped away from behind by Harris. Cunningham spins away from Anunoby on the break. Schroeder back to Cunningham, and a good hard foul by Deuce McBride will force Cade Cunningham to the free throw line. Shot clock is off. 22 seconds left. But a nice burst at the end of this third quarter from Detroit has them up by 3 and maybe 4 or 5 with Cunningham at the free throw line.
As good as Mitchell Robinson has been in this stretch, particularly defensively, I do think there's an element of know your personnel. Some of these borderline grenades late in the shot clock that the Knicks are trying to wedge into him, they're not really putting him in the best spot.
Cunningham gets the first free throw, 4-point lead. So Robinson comes out, Towns comes in. Bridges is going to come in for McBride. That's smart defense from Detroit. They're doubling off of Robinson, so the correct read is to pass to him. But you're right, they're not finding him in great areas.
Well, part of it is you know that Mitchell Robinson is going to be camped out in the paint. So he's either got to get to those short corners and see what happens and then come on the move, or if you're going to attack him, you have to pull up short, really around that free throw line, certainly between the 2 arcs that represent the restricted area, so that you can get the ball to him. Otherwise, you make that space too congested.
Another foul shot for Cunningham, so half of his 10 points have come at the free throw line now. Knicks down 5, but they will get the final shot of this third quarter. 7 left on the timer. Right wing Towns hands back to Bridges. Baseline drive on Cunningham. Sealed off. Turnaround jumper. It's good for Mikal Bridges. Just his 4th points of the night. Midcourt heave from Beasley over the top of the backboard. And maybe another galvanizing bucket for Mikal Bridges will send us to the fourth quarter with Detroit leading New York 77-74 after trailing by 10 earlier in the third.
That basket, though, LT, was the first in a long time that wasn't predicated on isolation basketball or just a dribble penetration and trying to dump it off into the paint. There was a handoff, there was multiple cuts involved, and then Mikal Bridges gets to the right side where he's been so effective. The Knicks can't fall prey to being stagnant. They were the best in the fourth quarter when there was plenty of spacing, and yes, Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns hit difficult shots in Detroit, but tonight we've seen that when they space and move, they give themselves opportunities at quality shots.
Well, if you win the fourth quarter by at least 4, you win this first-round series in 5. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been serving New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for 30 years. They offer premier customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate traveling experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call 212-206-6974.
Attention Knicks fans! Looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions. Across specialties, ThriveWell offers private state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. That's ThriveWellInfusion.com, saving lives drip by drip.
Because growing a business keeps you on the go. We've got your bank. Because a steady cash flow is the lifeblood of your bottom line. We've got your bank. Because your workday simply doesn't stop at 5 o'clock. We've got your bank. Dime Community Bank gives you the digital tools you need to simplify your business banking. Even deposit checks, anytime from anywhere. And we back our technology with a team that's always there, wherever business takes you. Visit Dime.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sports fans, take your game day snacks to a whole new level. Cibao Meat Products Jamoneta Campesino Salami, the MVP of flavor. Whether you're cheering for touchdowns or slam dunks, this Hispanic-style salami is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Made with the finest ingredients and packed with zesty spices, Jamoneta Campesino Salami delivers a burst of savory goodness in every bite. Score big with Cibao Meat Jamoneta Campesino Salami. Available at your local supermarket. Remember, if you see our logo from the start, put it in your shopping cart. Cibao Meat Products, over half a century of tradition and quality.
77-74, Pistons lead the Knicks as we begin the fourth quarter. Knicks basketball on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. As Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony gets the crowd fired up from his left side baseline seat. Knicks down 3. They play their best 12 minutes of the series. They will be headed to round 2. They come out of the break with Payne and McBride in the backcourt. Bridges on the wing. And you've got the double big lineup, Towns and Robinson. We have seen Tom Thibodeau ready for a quick hook on lineups like this. So these will be a very interesting first few possessions.
Well, part of the thing you have to keep in mind with this one is that Karl-Anthony Towns has 3 personal fouls.
Cunningham spins out high, pick and roll with Duran. He's marked by Bridges, drives right side of the paint, tough step back baseline jumper, rolls out, rebound Towns. Midcourt outlet to McBride, speeds ahead on Harris, blows him away with a right hand layup. Tobias Harris didn't stand a chance. It's a 1-point game.
Deuce McBride has not had his sort of average type of series in terms of being able to be effective, but he has hit big baskets and come in and had the right momentum.
Now he defends Schroeder, who's forced into a driving kick. Beasley at the foul line, trying to muscle past Payne, can't do it. Tough fall away, misses from the right elbow, but Duran gets the rebound. Kick out to Schroeder, near corner pump fake, drives to the block, floater is good, 3-point game. And as Schroeder, there's the crowd silencer he was looking for earlier, 11 points in 18 minutes. He's averaging about 12 points a game in the series now. Towns left wing, faces up on Harris, jab step right, now drives left, gets to the baseline, push shot short, rebound swatted out to Bridges at the free throw line. Into the right corner, McBride, corner 3 for the tie, too strong.
This crowd so wants him to find his rhythm from behind the arc.
He is 0 for 3. In the lane, Cunningham, righty layup, no good. Contest from Deuce that time. Rebound Towns, and out to midcourt for Payne. Directing traffic on the high side wing. They'll post up Towns on Harris, far side mid-range. Dribbles with the right hand, takes him toward the paint. Another dribble, spins baseline, bank shot rolls around, and he missed it, but a foul on Tobias Harris. That's his third personal. Harris twirls his finger in slow motion, asking for a challenge.
That is the best look, though, that Karl Anthony Towns has gotten versus Tobias Harris. He's patient. He backs him down. He's right at the rim. That ball unkindly careens off of the rim in the bottom of the backboard.
They're going to challenge. But Towns got himself into a weird spot where he was maybe closer to the rim than he usually is, so it was a little too much mustard on the bank shot. There was a lot of jersey tugging from Tobias Harris, but was it marginal contact or not?
So
Detroit has called a timeout to initiate the coach's challenge on the foul assessed Harris.
The box score, would this be Harris's third or fourth? This would be Harris's third, correct. Now that's sort of a big call because you need his veteran productivity if you're going to force a game 6 back in Detroit. I don't really see where this is going to get overturned.
I don't know. He's got a right hand full of jersey, and then as Towns turns around, he loses grip on the jersey and then hits his right shooting elbow.
The Harris and Detroit company clearly are arguing that when Towns does this drop step, it's contact to the head, neck, and shoulders with his right elbow, I believe that is, yeah. But that's way, to your point, after the fact that you have illegally grabbed his man's jersey up.
So maybe they'll call a foul before the shot and they won't give him free throws. Well, we'll take a break while they take a look. It's 79-76. Pistons lead the Knicks. 10:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Knicks down 3, hoping to clinch. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
There could be a trio of NBA first-round series coming to a close tonight with the home teams in each case up 3-1. That includes the Knicks hosting the Pistons, and you can hear the play-by-play now, followed by Game 5 between the Clippers and the Nuggets, with that series dead even at 2 apiece. It's all on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports, wherever you are. Your team plays here.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday.
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Worth 400 from Texas Motor Speedway on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race. Plus, 2 hours of post-race coverage on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
The best place to get your basketball fix every weekday is Give and Go with Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez, and former NBA champion Antonio Daniels on NBA Radio.
If you got Steph, you got a chance.
Evan Mobley, his unicorn status is about to be unlocked.
They'll cover every story and talk to great guests across the association every afternoon.
NBA Hall of Famer Mike Breen.
Anything shy of certainly the finals would be a disappointment for the Celtics.
It's Give and Go, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, only on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the Sirius XM app.
From dramatic walk-offs.
This ball is crushed into the trees. Grand slam.
To jaw-dropping web gems.
A diving catch over the shoulder by Johnson.
College softball and baseball are heating up, and you can catch the action on Sirius XM. Hear live play-by-play from the nation's top conferences and powerhouse programs all season long. Stay connected to the action on Sirius XM or streaming anytime on the Sirius XM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
79-76, Knicks with the lead. It's an unsuccessful challenge for Detroit. They wanted an offensive foul as Towns turned baseline with his elbows up. But a technical foul has been called against the Pistons as well. We'll let you know who it's on, but Towns is going to get one technical free throw. He made it. It's a 2-point game with 10:25 to go in the fourth. JB Bickerstaff, it just hasn't been a good series in terms of challenges.
It has not. And if this technical foul was on him, maybe he's run this hot all season and we just haven't seen as much of it. But he seems a little emotional on the sideline for my taste.
He's yelling at Jason Goble saying, "That's not right, Jason." Knicks have said that a time or two. Now Towns gets his 2 shooting free throws after the foul on Harris, and he makes the first. It's a 1-point game. 79-78 Detroit, 10:25 to go in the fourth. Of course, the Knicks went on a 16-5 run to overcome an 11-point deficit on Sunday. They tied the game at 84, and then it was nip and tuck the rest of the way, outscoring Detroit just 10-9 to get the 94-93 win. Well, Towns gets all 3 free throws, 1 technical and 2 standard, and the game is tied at 79. First time the Knicks have been tied since early in the third quarter. Beasley baseline drive met by Towns. Forced to pass inside. Tipped by Robinson. Stolen by McBride. Ahead to Bridges. Walk up left wing. 2 is good. Mikal Bridges finds the range. And the Knicks have a 2-point lead.
Dang, not quite a 3. I thought that was going to be a 3.
It's their first lead since early in the third quarter. Schroeder, left side drive, layup is good as he dives out of bounds left baseline, got around McBride for 2. Bridges has 6. He had the late hit from the right baseline at the end of the third, and at the moment that go-ahead bucket. Has it again on the high side wing from left to right. Go the Knicks pick and slip with Towns. They'll take Hardaway in the lane. Kick out to McBride, right corner. Gets to the right elbow. Now drives inside. Tough pull up 2. In and out from the right block. And the rebound is swatted over to Beasley.
Gosh, Deuce McBride is really struggling to connect.
Harris transitions 3 off the heel from the right wing. Rebound Towns. He's got 14 points and 9 boards. Hasn't been dominant, but he's been effective. Asking for it up top. Thought about a logo 3. He's thinking out loud. He'll take it. He missed it just short.
Two really good looks on the last couple of possessions by the Knicks, just unable to get them to connect.
Still tied at 81. Schroeder around his screen. Picked up by Robinson. Gets rid of the ball. Now has it back at the top of the arc. Jab step to create some space. Launches a 3 off the right side rim. And Bridges gets the board.
Great contest by Mitchell Robinson.
And a bad pass from Bridges. Robinson had position underneath the hoop on Duren, but Bridges tried to throw a dart from 50 feet, and it was off his fingertips out of bounds.
Why? The Knicks have to settle down. I know it's too early to think of time and score in the traditional sense, but they need not to turn the basketball over.
Schroeder up top. Pick and roll with Harris. Catches on the right elbow. Runs into Towns. They call the foul on Towns. That'll be number 4. And remember, Towns played a lot of the second half with 4 fouls very responsibly. Game is tied at 81. Harris can break the tie at the free throw line with 8.5 to go. The contact was initiated by Harris, but Towns was also cutting off his driving angle. It's actually a pretty close one.
It doesn't look like the Knicks are even considering challenging, but that's certainly the type of call that J.B. Bickerstaff would have challenged.
Ouch.
Am I wrong? Meanwhile, just a note, as Tobias Harris is going to go to the free throw line, the Pistons have missed their last 6 3-point attempts. I don't know that this would be, even if it were challenged, I don't know if it would be upgraded from more than a basketball move. But by the letter of the law, that's contact above the head, neck, and shoulders. Or above the neck and shoulders, rather.
And the common foul part of it is, did Harris veer off his straight line drive into Towns? And I think at the last second he actually did. But they will not challenge, and Harris makes the first free throw.
Well, it's a 1-point ball game with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Uh-oh, is there some confusion?
Oh, how about this, Monica? The 3-pointer from Mikal Bridges that I called with his foot on the line has been reviewed and overturned into a 3.
Outstanding.
Ray Santiago off mic said, hey, good eye, calling that live as a 2. Ray, you take that compliment right back. Myself and the officials both had it wrong.
We know you have a thing about compliments, Celty.
Yes, it's a complex of mine. 82-82 now. So Harris is fighting against the scoreboard. He hit the go-ahead free throw. Then they put one more back on the board for the Knicks to tie. And then he gets the second foul shot. So it's Pistons by 1. 8.5 left in the fourth. Jalen Brunson has not yet come into the fourth quarter. He's averaging 13 points in the fourth quarter in the series. Towns up top. Now to Bridges left wing. Attacks Hardaway. Far block. Lost the handle. Got it back. Turnaround jumper. No good, but a foul. Hardaway grazed the wrist or forearm of Bridges. And he will get 2 free throws. something he did not have in any of the first 3 games of the series. That was an elbow touch from Hardaway. It always looks soft, but it obviously has a major effect on a jump shot.
So the Knicks have gotten 5 guys into double figures, and they've gotten 17 minutes out of their bench. Mitchell Robinson being one of the double-figure contributors tonight, just having a great all-around game. 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 steal to go along with 11 points for him. The way that this second unit has been able to play and flirt, we'll call it, with maintaining a lead has really allowed Jalen Brunson to stock up as he gets to go into captain clutch mode here shortly.
Tom Thibodeau will match up OG Anunoby, who comes in for Deuce McBride just as Cade Cunningham checks in.
Now, this is the lineup on the floor that was effectively using that pick and roll at the top of the key and then finding the roll guy, which is oftentimes Duren, and shuffling that pass to the big or to the floater, the 4 in the floater position.
It's Schroeder, Beasley, Cunningham, Harris, and Duren as Bridges gets the second free throw, so we're tied at 83 with 8:14 to go.
Actually, one note, though, Thompson has been the beneficiary of that lineup for the most part of the ballgame. He's not on the floor.
The Knicks have Payne, McBride, Anunoby, and the double bigs. Alley-oop to Duren, so-called by Monica. He hits the shot, and he got fouled. Robinson went crashing into Duren, who got upended as he hit the basket for the near side of the rim. Robinson is sprawled out with his legs fully extended. I'm not sure who knocked him into Duren, but he fell hard on the court. And Robinson is helped up. Duren is still down on the floor.
This is incidental contact with 2 of the bigger bodies on the floor. I don't know why Mitchell Robinson was falling, but he clearly, he's just falling. He didn't take Jalen Duren out of the air on purpose at all.
You have to call foul, of course, but incidental contact. Duren is helped to his feet. I don't know what part of Duren took the brunt of the contact there, but he is really shaken up. He's now down into a squat. He's going to have to take a free throw here with a chance to complete the three-point play. It is 85-83 Detroit with that foul shot still to come. 8:02 remains in the fourth.
It looks like the officials are going to go. I don't know. There's nothing to see. I mean,
they're killing time until Duren's okay to take the shot.
Right. It's just an awkward bang play. Folks got legs got tied up.
So Duren's right wrist braced his fall, and he also got hit hard down low from Robinson in the right knee. And then his right ankle got thrown up in the air as Robinson turned into him. So a lot of bumps and bruises on that one play from Jalen Duren.
Yeah, and it actually looks like, as far as Robinson falling, it's a combo of what looked to be friendly fire between Karl-Anthony Towns and Tobias Harris trying to get in position to go after that rebound.
Understandably, Duren misses the free throw, so it's Pistons by 2, 8 minutes left in the game. 85-83 Detroit. Jalen Brunson heads to the scorer's table. Bridges runs the offense for now. Left side drive, Beasley slips. Bridges pulls up for 2. It's good from the dotted line. We're tied at 85.
That's a terrific read by Mikal Bridges, who all season long has found a way to be effective in the mid-range.
10 points now for Bridges. Most of them coming since the end of the third quarter. And good defense on Cunningham, but a foul called, and Cat hates it. We'll see who they get. It is going to be Karl-Anthony Towns, who came over on help defense on Cunningham's baseline fadeaway. That's the 5th foul on Towns. 7:35 to go in the fourth. And that puts the Knicks in a tight spot.
He's got to understand his importance, the magnitude of his presence a little bit better. I get contesting that, but contest straight up.
First foul shot is good. Pistons by 1, 7:35 to go. Yeah, I think the frustration Towns showed was not at the call, but at himself.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'd agree with you. And I understand the effort, but Mikal Bridges was contesting this shot anyway. Hindsight is always 20/20. All right, so the Knicks now are going to have to go with Josh Hart. And Mitchell Robinson stays on the floor. He's playing big minutes tonight, already at the 20-minute mark.
He played 33 minutes at the end of the season against Cleveland. And that was kind of the moment you knew he no longer had a minutes restriction. Cunningham gets both, so Pistons by 2 again. They've led by as many as 10. The Knicks have only led by 5. Both teams shooting in the low 40s. Robinson out high, hands to Bridges, right perimeter. Pick and roll with Robinson. Bridges to the right elbow, hesitates, leans in at the right block. Tried to find Hart on the near side wing, but it's stolen by Harris. Cunningham on the move down the lane, hands to Thompson after running over Brunson. Offensive foul. Brunson drew the charge. Cunningham can't believe it. No challenges available. A familiar refrain for Detroit, and that's the 4th foul on Cade Cunningham.
I feel like that's also maybe the second, if not third time that Jalen Brunson has been able to draw that on Cade Cunningham in this series.
Yeah, I think Cunningham, after making that pass, he's got to get out of the way.
Yeah. Or even, I know it's super old school and he's a fast and athletic guy, but even give yourself a little jump stop. He knew he was going to make the pass, so why keep going?
Yes. Knicks ball down by 2. 7:07 to go in the game. Brunson from left to right with Hart, Bridges, Anunoby, and Robinson.
Is this hand that Asar Thompson putting on Jalen Brunson not the same call that they got Dennis Schroeder for earlier in the ballgame?
Brunson has been at the free throw line, backing down. Thompson turnaround jumper, fouled, and he scored. Jalen Brunson and 1. He's tied the game, and he can give the Knicks the lead with a free throw.
He has been an absolute menace for these Pistons in fourth quarters. And it appears that he might be returning to that form in an opportunity to close out this series here at the Garden.
4th foul on Asar Thompson, who defended him as well as you can until he reached in at the last second. Brunson was 1 of 7 in the first half, just 6 points. Since then, he was 3 of 6. And with the free throw, he's got 10 points. Those need to keep dropping for him. He missed 3 in the first half. He's only missed 1 since. He's 7 of 10. Knicks lead 88-87. 6:46 to go in the 4th. Cunningham and Duren straight on pick and roll. Pocket pass. Duren dropped it, but so did Robinson. Loose ball gathered in by Thompson with 7 to shoot. He'll go down the middle of the lane. Hangs in the air. Blocked, but a foul. And Robinson can't believe it, but he will pick up his 5th foul. Ariel Hukporti, if you're wondering, is available. But free throws coming for Asar Thompson, and he gets a pep talk from Cade Cunningham because Thompson is 5 of 10 from the free throw line tonight.
Biggs getting into trouble, foul trouble, down the stretch of this ballgame could be pivotal. There's a whole lot of time left, and for as good as Mitchell Robinson has been, Asar Thompson, I'd even add Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, continue to put tremendous pressure on the rim. One of the ways that the Knicks can help, they've got to get more ball pressure on the perimeter and not give up those drives so easily. But the thing that's frustrating about that play, LT, is that was nearly a defensive rebound.
First foul shot good, second one missed, you're right. That time the rebound was pinballed around but found the hands of Brunson. 8s across the board. We are tied 88 all. 6:24 to go in the 4th. Brunson right elbow, sidestep, mid-range jumper. Back rim, long rebound came back toward him, but Cunningham beat him to the spot. Beasley on the move from right to left. In the paint, wild layup, missed it over Hart. Rebound tipped out to Brunson. 3-on-3 on the move the other way. Brunson right wing. Slows things down here. Haven't seen a whole lot of that lately. Take a breather, 6 to play, 12 to shoot, tied at 88, late 4th quarter. Brunson picked up by Beasley left side. Crossover, half spin, left elbow, keeps moving. Push off, step back, jump shot, in and out. Rebound, Thompson. Midcourt outlet to Cunningham. Crossover in the lane, and a finger roll is good through 2 Knicks to give Detroit a 90-88 lead.
The last 2 baskets that Jalen Brunson has been unable to convert are shots that he usually hits. They've been soft misses, but that doesn't make you feel much better. It's a miss.
And tough shots for almost everybody in the league except him. Maybe you got to hit the final 5 minutes to officially be a clutch moment for Brunson. Up top, one-on-one with Cunningham. Left-hand dribble, slips inside. Lefty layup, bank shot, no. Offensive rebound, Robinson got hammered, and he put it in. Mitchell Robinson and 1. He's tied the game at 90, and he'll get a free throw.
Relentless on the glass. Both of your bigs for the Knicks with 10 rebounds now. Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, he threw it up with the left hand as Hardaway was grabbing his right. What a play by Mitchell Robinson.
Now, this is the beauty of Jalen Brunson, knowing that if he gets by his first defender, he's going to get 2 and 3 additional guys coming over to help. And so as soon as Jalen Duren bit, of course he had every intention of making that shot. But Mitchell Robinson, terrific awareness, knowing that Jalen Duren vacated space and being the first to that O board.
He's got a double-double, 13 and 11 with 2 blocks. A not insignificant free throw here. It's 90-90 with 5:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Game 5. Knicks can clinch with a win. Missed it off to the right side of the rim. It's usually been short with his free throws. That one was just off target. Cunningham slowly up court. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Defended by Brunson off the pick and roll. Got hit on the left elbow, leans in and missed it, but a foul called on Brunson. That's his third. And Cade Cunningham will get his 9th and 10th free throws, which will match Brunson for the most frequent flyer miles to the free throw line tonight.
For much of the game, the Knicks were trying to avoid that straight-up switch. A lot of times it was Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby, though, where you see Jalen Brunson try to get back to his guy. Smart by Cade Cunningham to attack it so that the Knicks didn't have time to do that.
Rattles home the first free throw. Cunningham is 8 for 9 from the line. Knicks have 4 timeouts left with 5 minutes to go, and Tom Thibodeau is going to use one of them. 5:01 remaining to be exact. And no surprise, I'm sure, to anyone who's watched even a second of this series, it's a tight game late. Pistons 91, Knicks 90, with just over 5 minutes remaining. That means once the ball is inbounded, they'll officially have entered crunch time. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey, basketball fans, ready for the NBA playoffs? Get in on the action throughout basketball's most exciting time of the year with BetMGM, an authorized gaming operator of the NBA. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days. Gambling problem? In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
91-90, Detroit leads New York. 5:01 remaining in the fourth quarter. Celebrity row on the video board here. John Starks, Bernard King, Carmelo Anthony and company. And a lot of folks from streaming television shows I've yet to watch, but they got great ovations across the board.
Your candor, great description, because I'm with you. The only TV show people, I recognize some other folks, but I don't know their shows, but the Law & Order team was down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Christopher Maloney and Mariska Hargitay. They were also part of a great little intro video.
There was a group of gentlemen from the show called The Summer I Turned Pretty. Can't relate. 5:01 left in the fourth quarter.
You haven't turned pretty?
No, never had to.
Oh.
1 point lead for the Pistons. Ray Santiago got that one.
I didn't. I missed it. Whoops.
Foul trouble for Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. 5 apiece. What a job Robinson has done, though. He just had a 3-point play opportunity that he couldn't quite convert on, but he's got 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He will sit, though, as Karl Anthony Towns comes in. We did mention that Ariel Hukporti is available. However, when Towns and Robinson were both sitting on Sunday, it was OG Anunoby who wound up playing the 5.
That's 100% accurate.
In a small ball lineup. Second free throw rolls all the way around and in for Cade Cunningham. So it's a 2-point Pistons lead, and we've hit crunch time. 4:54 to go in the fourth quarter, and the clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson, has the ball. Blitzed on the left wing, up top to Towns. Pump fakes a three inside to Anunoby to the dunker spot for Hart. Right corner now. It is Bridges, pressured by Hardaway, dribble to the right elbow, spins baseline, tough baseline leaner, in and out, and it falls off. Soft enough miss where it almost caught the back rim, but did not drop for it.
It seems like the Knicks have gotten a ton of in and outs.
Down by 2. Pistons ball from right to left. 4:25 to go. Looking to keep their season alive. A dream season for Detroit after winning just 14 games a year ago. Cunningham hits a three off a pick and roll right side, and Tom Thibodeau calls timeout.
That's Cunningham's first 3 of the ball game. He's just 1 of 4, and the Pistons as a collective are shooting less than 30% from 3 at 27.6. But playoffs is responding in a way that he was frankly unable to in games 3 and 4.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
For the best basketball talk every afternoon, don't miss NBA Today with Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson from 4 to 7 Eastern on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the Sirius XM app.
Knicks down 5 with 4:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Time now for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Visit them today for the ultimate travel experience at besttrailstravel.com. One final across the NBA. A wild one. Indiana beat Milwaukee in overtime to win the series in 5. Perhaps Giannis Antetokounmpo's final game with the Bucks, which is unfair to speculate, but they have exited into the first round the last 3 seasons, and the future isn't exactly bright. They had a 7-point lead with 40 seconds left in overtime, and A.J. Green was at the free throw line for a second shot. He missed it. Andrew Nembhard hit a three-pointer with 34 seconds left. A couple of turnovers and missed shots from Milwaukee gave Tyrese Halliburton the opportunity to win it, and his layup did indeed with 1.4 left in OT. Knicks ball from left to right. They're down 5. Each team has 2 timeouts to go. Neither squad with a foul to give. Brunson dribbling at midcourt. He had 15 fourth quarter points in game 4. Pick and pop with Towns. He'll take it in the lane. Dribbles underneath the hoop. Pass to Bridges. Lefty layup. Gets it to go. Good contest from Jalen Duren, but Bridges scored anyway. 3-point game.
Excellent use of the glass by Bridges. Great patience.
He's got 10 points since the tail end of the third quarter. Cunningham, left side drive on Brunson. Step back 3. No pass out of it. Up top to Hardaway. Foul line leaner. Too strong. Offensive rebound. Duren ripped it away from Hart. Stripped. Loose. Hart has it. And he spins into the open court. Brunson is standing back on the near sideline. I wonder if he's hurt. Towns, logo 3. He got it! Towns ties it at 95 with 3:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson did not cross midcourt on that last possession.
He's clearly favoring a leg, but he's trying to play defense here now.
Cunningham down the lane, ready to layup short, but right into the hands of Jalen Duren. And now Hart's down injured on the left side paint. Knicks have 2 timeouts. Will they use one? Hart is underneath the left basket. Knicks across midcourt. Right now they're playing 4-on-5, but now Tom Thibodeau will call timeout. Hart is squatting at the left free throw line. Brunson is on his hands and knees, or he's doubled over with his hands on his knees while standing at midcourt. This is triage right now for the Knicks.
Oh, gosh, and it is so painfully reminiscent of postseasons past.
2:57 left in the game. Logo 3 from Karl Anthony Towns tied it at 95. An essentially uncontested layup from Cunningham with Brunson hobbled. Made it 97-95. Josh Hart is going back to the locker room, which makes closing this series out in 5 even more important if they can find a way to do it. Game 6 would be Thursday in Detroit. Jalen Brunson has not gone down the tunnel yet. That all happened in a hurry.
I don't know. We're getting a second look at the way Josh Hart lands. It looks like he lands flatly on his back. But Jalen Brunson is still trying to work through some pain on the Knicks sideline in front of their bench.
Tough to see the origin of either injury. We'll show a replay on our video monitor. Brunson got pushed off by Cunningham and tried to recover and then just tweaked something. Obviously, the right ankle comes to mind. He's sitting on the bench and retying that right sneaker. Cam Payne is on the floor, and so is Deuce McBride. So Brunson not in the game for the moment. Doesn't mean they're completely incapable of scoring baskets. Is that Josh Hart back yet? No, not yet. Brunson is squatting down the left baseline. Obviously, he'll come in as soon as he feels ready, if and when. Bridges, Towns, and Anunoby may have to carry a heavy load. Knicks ball from left to right, down 2:44 to go. Towns, tough shot from the foul line, would not go at the end of the shot clock. Good defense from Tobias Harris. Cunningham from right to left. At the foul line, crossover, drive, blocked by Towns, but again it came right to Duren, who lays it in. Back-to-back baskets have happened that way for Detroit. They lead by 4, 2:25 to go.
Josh Hart is returned back out of the tunnel for whatever that's worth.
Jalen Brunson still crouching on the sideline. Bridges, pick and roll with Towns. Defended by Hardaway, keeps his dribble to the foul line. Keeps moving to the right wing. Baseline leaner, short. Looked like he had a pass to the rim, but he fell off instead.
Towns has to get to the paint.
2 minutes left. Pistons ball up by 4. Cunningham, right elbow. McBride on his hip floater is good. Knicks only have one timeout left. Brunson and Hart do go to the scorer's table. Tom Thibodeau had to use their penultimate timeout just to get them off the floor because of the injuries. Knicks in trouble, down 6. Payne, floater from the foul line is too strong. Cunningham gets the rebound.
Cunningham has 11 points in this fourth quarter.
Harris backs down Payne. Looking for help, double team, holds the ball high. Back out to Thompson, high side angle, repost. Harris, far baseline against McBride. 9 to shoot, 90 to play. Baseline fall away. Back rimmed it. Knicks needed that miss. Anunoby catches, outlets to Payne. Payne left wing. I know he's thinking about his rhythm 3, but no. Back near midcourt. Right corner. Bridges, huge 3. Missed it. Rebound Harris. Knicks down 6. 1:10 left in the fourth.
You got to have a sense of urgency on the defensive end here.
And they can't foul because it'll send Cunningham to the free throw line, but they need Brunson and Hart in the game. Payne tried to draw a foul on Duren. Towns blocked Duren inside. Loose ball to Payne. They want to run from left to right. Do you think about a timeout? Bridges right wing. Drives baseline around Thompson. Met by Duren. Leaner of a shot. Banked in off the front rim and then the glass. It's a 4-point game. 49 seconds to go. This is like the Twilight Zone.
It really is.
They've got Brunson and Hart waiting to check in, under a minute to go, but we've had no stoppages.
Yeah, J.B. Bickerstaff is going to make the Knicks use that timeout to get them in. He's not going to change up his group.
I think they need to stop here and a timeout. Cunningham spins on the right side, gets to the right elbow, steps back on McBride, holds the ball high inside to Thompson. Reverse layup is good, and Tom Thibodeau has to call timeout. It's a 6-point Detroit lead, 27 seconds to go. And maybe because of some bad timing, the Knicks are up against it now. Down by 6. And they need some quick shots and some missed free throws to clinch this series.
Meanwhile, Asar Thompson has had the game of the series for him personally. The Pistons have 2 20-point scorers, Thompson being one of them, and Cade Cunningham additionally has 20 points as well. The injuries to both Hart and Brunson really kind of stole the momentum that the Knicks were building to take a lead here at the Garden.
By the way, the out-of-town scoreboard we gave you earlier was brought to you by Best Trails and Travel. Visit them today for the ultimate travel experience at besttrailstravel.com. Well, you can go back to that 5-point swing on the missed goaltending leading to the Tim Hardaway and 1, but Knicks are down by 6, so that 5-point swing would be nullified. Just another example of all the little things that add up over the course of a game. Of course, Game 4, all the talk was about one at the end of the game, but that's certainly not the entire story. They're down by 6 with 27 seconds to go.
So it was 2 minutes and 57 seconds left on the clock when Josh and Jalen left the ball game, and they missed an important stretch of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Mikal Bridges was able to get that basket to fall in the mid-range, but the Knicks struggled to come up with stops or find offense.
Well, clearly not at 100%. Hart and Brunson. His head is down as he approaches the near sideline, and we'll get the handoff from Mark Davis in the front court. 27 seconds left. Knicks down 6. The starting 5 is on the floor. Brunson inbounds to Bridges. Right corner three-pointer. He buries it. Oh, what a shot from Mikal Bridges right in the face of Dennis Schroeder. They're going to call it a 3 on the floor, and they may review it.
That's a big basket, but Mikal Bridges is so good going to his right.
They're going to put some extra time on the clock is what the officials were reviewing. J.B. Bickerstaff calls timeout. A rejuvenating shot from Mikal Bridges. It's a 3-point game with 25 seconds left. So, yeah, there's a second between shot and game clock, but I don't know if that's enough time to let it play out. You usually see teams foul here.
You can't really afford to foul. You're going to play for a steal first.
Right.
Obviously play for a steal first. You got about 10 seconds to make something happen. Then you might, I would not foul. We talked about it the other day. Point 3.
You play it all the way down.
Yeah.
If Detroit takes a shot at the shot clock buzzer,
correct,
you would have to bank on an immediate rebound and then race all the way down the floor with no timeouts.
You're going to have to foul because that's a heave. You would have to heave the basketball off of that rebound, and you're right, Tyler. That's asking for a lot to happen in 1 second. You got about 10 seconds to play for a steal, and then you're going to have to play the foul game.
Maybe some Game 2, Round 1 magic from a year ago. Knicks were down 5. Brunson for 3. Stole the inbound. DiVincenzo for 3. It is 103-100. Detroit leading New York.
Now, earlier tonight, not in this contest, but there was a wild turnover off of the inbound. We've seen Detroit have some issues with that twice in Detroit.
The timeout brings it to the front court. No timeouts for the Knicks. Pistons have 1. No fouls to give. Cunningham to inbound. Beasley sprints toward that far sideline. Cunningham hesitates, passes right. It's dropped, stolen by Brunson, thrown down on the court, tipped over to Beasley. What a chance for the Knicks, but it winds up with Cunningham, double teamed at midcourt. Knicks have to foul, and they do foul Schroeder. Brunson had it, tried to spike it off of a Piston to save it, but he just threw it off the court, and it popped up in the air into Beasley's hands.
Having that last timeout, if not for those guys getting injured, would have changed that outcome tremendously.
A bit of a panicked moment for the Knicks once they saw that opportunity, and you're right, the first instincts would have been to steal, and Brunson was falling out of bounds, so he had to throw it.
Good communication, though, not to call the timeout, right, and give up the easy text and possession, or the single shot.
I can't believe that attempt from Brunson to throw it off of Beasley missed. Schroeder gets the first free throw, so it's a 4-point lead, 16 seconds to go. The Knicks will have to hurry it up the floor, hit a quick 3, and foul again. Schroeder with 14 points. These are his first foul shot attempts of the game. Second one rolls off. 4-point game. Rebound Towns. They got to hurry. Hands to Anunoby with 13. 2-possession game. OG across midcourt. Sidestep left wing. Pump fake. He'll take a 3 over Cunningham. That's good. OG Anunoby with no room to operate. Nails a 3. It's a 1-point game. And JB Bickerstaff calls his last timeout with 5 points.
Off a shot as that was by OG Anunoby, I got to give him tremendous credit because he wasn't rushed. He was balanced. He got great lift from his leg, and he shot the ball with confidence all night. Whoa.
Was Cunningham too worried about fouling there? He kind of just stood still with his hands in the air.
No, I think Cunningham plays that exactly right. OG Anunoby just hit a hell of a shot. His third 3 of the night.
The Knicks were down 6 with 27 seconds left. Bridges hit a ridiculous 3 off an inbound curl to the right corner with Schroeder right in his face. Schroeder made 1 of 2 free throws after the Knicks nearly tied it, or rather stole it off the inbound. Anunoby with no room to breathe, hit a left wing three over Cunningham. And then the timeout from J.B. Bickerstaff. No timeouts for either team now, so it's still slim odds for the Knicks, but they're giving themselves a chance.
So, yeah, you obviously play for the steal. Again, you still have no timeouts, cannot call a timeout. And then you play the foul game. I would be curious if Dennis Schroeder would say he missed that shot on purpose. I do not think so. But it was Karl Anthony Towns' 11th rebound of the night.
Dennis Schroeder did not miss that free throw.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
It'll be a front court inbound for Detroit. Schroeder will trigger it. Knicks have Brunson, McBride, Bridges, Anunoby, and Hart on the floor. Or not Hart, Towns. You wonder if Hart being out has anything to do with his health status. No timeouts. Pistons by 1. They will inbound. Knicks need an almost immediate foul.
So Deuce McBride is almost harkening back to his football days as sort of this free-range defender.
He's standing at midcourt. Schroeder holds the ball high, defended by the 7-footer Towns. Inbound, finds Cunningham, and Brunson shoves him. Good play by Detroit to get Cunningham free. He might consider missing the second, but still with 5.4 to go, I don't know if you even want to leave the door open for the Knicks to go down and win it with a 3. In fact,
I would not.
Yeah, I'm quite sure he won't do that. Asar Thompson will check in for defense after this first shot from Cunningham. Crowd getting loud. First free throw for Cade rattles in. He's got 23, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. You go back to the Game 2 win, he was 10 of 12 from the stripe.
He's got 12 points in this fourth quarter, so he's really activated his clutchness in this one.
Brunson and Bridges all the way in the front court corner. Second foul shot perfect, so the Knicks can tie with a 3 to force overtime. 5.4 to go. Inbound to McBride. Across midcourt with 3, and a foul called by Asar Thompson, so the Knicks will have to make one free throw, miss the second, and then who knows? Something that the Knicks do sometimes. Fouling up by 3. It's the analytically favored approach. And the Knicks did not get a chance to shoot a potential game-tying three-pointer. Mitchell Robinson, good call by Tom Thibodeau, will check in for rebounding after this first McBride shot. 2.6 left. His first free throw, very strong. That never looked good. And now the Knicks need to miss this, tip it out for a 3 to tie the game, as Robinson will check in.
McBride obviously has not had tremendous rhythm in this series. His minutes have been spotty at best, and he certainly has not been an effective scorer in the way that the Knicks were accustomed to during the course of the regular season.
Now Robinson is going to come out. They need three-point shooting on the floor. And Mark Davis going over to talk with Tom Thibodeau. Knicks down 3, 2.6 to go in the game. And they're going to make Mitchell Robinson check back in.
The timeout, I just keep going back to that. Having to use that timeout to get Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart off the floor was really hamstrung you late in this ballgame.
So Towns comes out, Robinson in. Now Towns is going to stay in. Who's coming out?
Who's coming out?
Mikal Bridges will come out of the game. So your three-point options are Towns, McBride, Brunson, and Anunoby. Now the first shot from McBride was actually a pretty good design if he wanted to miss it on purpose. It came off the backboard first and hit the right side rim. 2.6 to go. Second free throw, back rim, no. Punched up in the air, comes loose for Towns, swatted toward midcourt, and the clock expires on Game 5. Detroit keeps their season alive with a 106-103 win. There will be a trip back to the Motor City. Game 6 on Thursday night as momentum is swung back to the Pistons, who have brought this series to 3 games to 2.
Well, you knew that the Pistons were going to come in with a level of focus, looking to exact revenge. I think one of the biggest demonstrations of that is how effective Cade Cunningham was in the fourth quarter. He had 13 points and obviously knocked down huge free throws. He also has 8 rebounds and 8 assists in this one, so that's a complete game for that young man. Jalen Duren, though, with 14 rebounds, and the Pistons, in terms of second chance opportunities, they get 18 second chance opportunities and 19 points off of turnovers by the Knicks tonight. Wow, you allow them to survive a 27.6 performance from the three-point line.
They have not shot the three-point ball well all series long. So we will go to our post-game show. And, of course, if you close that series out in 5, the earliest you would have to play game 1 of the next round is Saturday. So not just the momentum going Detroit's way, the home court advantage in game 6, and now a renewed belief that if it goes game 7, Pistons are 4-1 this year at Madison Square Garden, regular season and postseason.
Yeah, that's why you came into this one with a little bit of hesitation. You thought maybe the Knicks had excised some struggles in terms of being able to close out these guys in the last 2 games. But I think you have to give this team the appropriate amount of respect and fear. They've had a terrific season, and nothing about it is a fluke.
And about 45 hours from now, we'll see what the status of Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart is for Game 6 at Little Caesars Arena. Post-game show starts when we come back with Pat O'Keefe. Final score in Game 5, Detroit 106, New York 103. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Don't miss a moment of baseball season with MLB Network Radio, including daily interviews with the decision makers from across the league on Sirius XM Channel 89.
This is Terry Francona. This is Rocco Baldelli.
This is Torey Lavello.
This is Ron Washington.
It's Managers at the Mic on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89. And if you miss any of our Manager at the Mic interviews throughout the week, you can find them on the Sirius XM app. Search MLB.
Hear every game of the NBA playoffs on Sirius XM.
He's going to fire up a 3 for the win! He hit it!
Don't miss a second of the action all the way through the NBA Finals.
Tatum has to force a 3 at the buzzer, and he got it!
And throughout the playoffs, get closer to the storylines that matter on NBA Radio, Channel 86.
There are certain guys that you need to be a part of your roster to win NBA championships.
Listen to home and away broadcasts of every NBA playoff game on your radio and the Sirius XM app.
The first place to talk hoops every weekday morning is the starting lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
They're breaking down all the latest from the association.
I think he's a baller, and I think people would give up assets to get a guy like that.
Along with some laughs.
Kevin Durant, you need to get married and be miserable like the rest of us. Reprimanding the fans for booing. It's like, come on, man.
The starting lineup, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern. Only on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the Sirius XM app.
Liverpool are your 2025 Premier League champions, and no one covered their journey like Sirius XM FC.
This year, they've been absolutely untouchable.
This team was the epitome of a team. From every big moment.
Liverpool with a chance, left foot and it's in! The most dramatic end to this game!
To every major storyline.
Incredible, especially to win it in Anfield is so incredible.
No one brings you closer to the English Premier League than Sirius XM FC. Channel 157 in the car and streaming anytime on the Sirius XM app.
Welcome to the New York Knicks post-game show. Now here's Pat O'Keefe.
Well, this first-round series between the Knicks and the Detroit Pistons not quite finished yet, as the Pistons, the young Pistons, facing elimination with their season on the line tonight.
To every child and family who've needed us since 1875, and all who support us, our hospital needs no introduction. But just in case, it's SickKids. And it's our 150th birthday. Our mission has always been healthier children, a better world. The first children's hospital in Canada, SickKids. pasteurizing milk to prevent disease 30 years before it was mandatory, the heart-lung machine that transformed open heart surgery, a pediatric kidney transplant in 1969. SickKids, SickKids, and SickKids. We discovered the gene for cystic fibrosis so patients live longer lives. And we just created the world's first Atlas of Cancer using machine learning to analyze 13,000 variations. Today, the hospital sees over 130,000 patients a year. We're a research powerhouse, a training magnet, attracting nearly 600 clinical and research fellows from around the globe every year. And we're the #1 publicly funded children's hospital in the world. We're celebrating 150 years of excellence, driven by philanthropy. What's next? Thanks to donors like you, we're going to keep healing Canada and the world, and we're going to heal the future.
In that regard. So he had that and one that tied the game, and he could have given the lead with a free throw. And that was a real play. He earned that opportunity, hit it with his left hand, and it's something you can build on. So I think he's earned a lot more minutes going forward.
He was fantastic all night long. You know, it's funny, after the Game 4 victory, the last second, non-call that was a topic of conversation coming out of that one. Those two games in Detroit were very physical games, and a lot of that physicality seemed to be let go by the officials. That was not the case here tonight. It was a different feel for this game. 51 fouls, 63 free throw attempts between the two teams, and a host of players in foul trouble on both sides, and I think that had a real impact on this game.
Definitely. Maybe we mentioned Ariel Hukporti at one point in the game, which is not something we had planned to do, with the 5 fouls on Towns and 5 on Robinson. I guess I'd have to go back and look, but there wasn't anything crazy egregious in terms of fouls that were favoring one side or the other. But that goaltending call that Monica mentioned that turned into a 5-point swing, for me, that's the basketball universe evening out what the Pistons' gripes were from the end of Game 4. So I thought it was decently officiated, but yeah, foul trouble is something that, you don't want to have to worry about. You just want best on best for the duration of the game, but you didn't quite have that. But tip your cap to, as you said, Mitchell Robinson. And then I refuse to believe you're going to have 6 games where Deuce McBride does not rise to the occasion. So looking for a big game out of him coming up on Thursday.
Like Monica said, 2 more bites at the apple. Hopefully the Knicks only need 1. That will be Thursday night at Little Caesars Arena, where they